The last time we were in San Jose, Karch was wearing a yellow hat, and he was mad he wasn't winning all the tournaments. So he dumped his new partner at the time, Kent Steffes. Dumped him like a talkative girlfriend. Karch then picked up Brent Frohoff. Yes, Frohoff was having a great year. Bewildered Kent Steffes dug up Dan Vrbolovich, who ironically was wearing a lucky pink hat. This was the scene in San Jose 1990. Let's pick up the call. Frohoff. And that's it. Brent Frohoff could not get it over, and Kent Steffes and Dan Vrbolovich. Vindication. A huge upset and revenge. Now, 4 years later, the beach volleyball world is still turning. Kent Steffes is a millionaire, and a happy-go-lucky one at that, because Karch von Pinky Hat is at his side. Meanwhile, Brent Frohoff is having a good year. And he is now teamed with a giant Tom Cruise look-alike, powerful Ricky Ludes. What about Dan Vrbolovich? He's still wearing the pink hat, and he has picked up young stud, the longest name in volleyball, Eric Fonoimowana. But perhaps the best news, yes, Sunderland and Marlowe are back together again. It all happens today as the beach volleyball world keeps turning. Pro Beach 94 is next. You are looking at the Shark Tank, the home of the San Jose Sharks. It will provide the backdrop today to Guppy Park Beach, the site of the Miller Lite Open here in San Jose. Yes, I said it, Guppy Park Beach. Hello again, everybody. Along with Paul Sunderland, I'm Chris Marlowe. You are back. Where have you been?
Well, I've been hanging with Charles and Patrick and Dikembe and the boys, but I'm glad to be back. I have missed you.
You were doing basketball events on another network for a lot more money.
Something like that.
Okay. Well, let's talk about this tournament. Everybody knows that Karch Kiraly and Kent Steffes have dominated the action. They've won 8 out of 9. Last week they had to come through the losers bracket, however, to get their victory, and they might have to do it again today.
Well, you know, they have not played all that well in this particular tournament. Kent Steffes, a little bit of a knee problem. He says, when I asked him about it, he said, how did you find out about that? I said, hey, I might have been off with the NBA, but I got my spies. And they have not played all that solidly so far this weekend. And again, they're coming back through the losers bracket.
Stokos and Johnson have won the winners bracket. It's been kind of a funky tournament. Update us on some of the big name teams.
Well, lots of upsets. Stokos and Johnson have played very well throughout. Now, big names, Mike Dodd, Mike Whitmarsh, the big guys, the basketball players. They've played extremely well all season long. This week, a 17th. Mike Dodd and Whitmarsh told me maybe a little bit tired, going to take a weekend off, and indeed they did. Next up, Wes Welsh and Troy Tanner had played so well the last couple of weeks with a 2nd and 3rd respectively. They dropped down to 13th, so it is indeed hard to stay at the top, and one team that will be moving in that direction. The young new studs on the beach, Dave Swadek and Canyon Seaman. Canyon Seaman, still a student at nearby Stanford University, and only their 2nd ever official professional start together, finish 4th. They were very good.
All right, some big names still left in our semifinal. It's going to be Karch Kiraly and Kent Steffes. Yes, the guys you love to love or the guys you love to hate. They are playing, well, medium right now.
Karchy Van, what did you call him? Pinky Hat?
Von Pinky Hat.
Von Pinky Hat, playing very well indeed. They have been so consistent throughout the course of this season, siding out extremely well, but they lost, of course, earlier in this tournament. And again, the injury to Steffes. We will see how they do. When I watched them yesterday, I said, hey, they're vulnerable this weekend.
2 years ago, one of the great upsets in, I shouldn't say college volleyball, I should say in pro beach volleyball, Ricky Ludes and Brent Frohoff won the last Cuervo of the year, coming through as a qualifier. They're playing really well today, and they have a chance to upset.
Well, and they're serving really well. And Brent Frohoff, the owner of the highest toss in the history of jump serving in the world of pro beach volleyball, bombing jump serves. The wind came up yesterday afternoon. It's coming up again now. And when Ludes blocks and Frohoff serves the ball well, they can beat anybody, and they've played extremely well in this competition as well.
Okay, we are coming back. Semifinal action first, Frohoff and Ludes, Kiraly and Steffes for you. First serve after this. AVP Volleyball is brought to you by Miller Lite. Great taste, less filling. Can your beer do this? By Paul Mitchell Salon Hair Care. Cruelty-free. By the real Paul Mitchell and Salons only. By 1-800-COLLECT, America's inexpensive way to call collect. Use it every time you make a long-distance call. By Killer Loop Performance Sunglasses by Bausch & Lomb. Tested by athletes, not machines. By Southwest Airlines, it's just plain smart. And by Nestea. Why get just a little bit wet? Plunge into Nestea.
Calling collect. You've got options. You can dial 0 like this guy.
Hi, Mommy. I rode on the plane all by myself.
Did I mention you'll be charged as much as you possibly can for this call? Or you can dial 1-800-COLLECT. Here's how it works. Dial 1-800-COLLECT. Yeah, I just saved you some cash. You're welcome. Love you. Called Mom Collect, huh? You know, you could have saved up to 44% by dialing 1-800-COLLECT.
Can you find it in your heart to forgive me?
Yo, check it out. Here's what I gotta know.
Did you guys come out to play or what?
Oh, showtime. Yo, any Gatorade in the house, y'all? This thirst is getting deeper.
Gatorade, can you quench my thirst all the way to the soles of my size 13s?
So if you come out to play without your Gatorade, you better
Call your mother to pick you up. Gatorade thirst quench, just for that deep down body thirst.
Presents Full Contact Golf. Yes, this summer it's not just a sport, it's a free t-shirt. The Full Contact Golf t-shirt. Just look for specially marked packages of Miller Lite at your favorite store. Find this can and win instantly. There are over 500,000 t-shirts to be won.
Cool. Hey, cool shirt. Thanks.
The Full Contact Golf t-shirt coming into full contact with you. Only from Miller Lite.
Hey, great shirt.
Great beer. Can your beer do this?
Chris Marlowe and Paul Sunderland with you as we hit Guppy Park Beach, right across from the Shark Tank here in San Jose. Karch Garai, Kent Steffes, Brent Frohoff, Ricky Ludes. This should be a very, very interesting matchup. Frohoff and Ludes always dangerous. Always play Karch and Kent relatively tough. They can serve and they can block and they can side out.
Which means they can do just about everything. Greg Krause up top. And Steve Burmeister down below. The wind continues to pick up, Chris, just about on cue as it did yesterday in the tournament. First day of competition, of course, of this two-day event here in San Jose. And blowing pretty good right now. Garai and Steffes occupy the good side, wind in their face.
79 degrees, clear skies, slight breeze. Sand Sharks could be looming near. And on two, Ricky Ludes has a dig. Chance for a point, opening it up. Ludes back to Steffes. Here comes Frohoff.
Come on.
And Karch is there. And a little paddle back over. Big play here. Ludes want to get a point? Yes.
Better set that time in transition. Both Brent Frohoff and Ricky Ludes set the ball extremely well, either overhand or bump setting posture. Kent Steffes stretched out, getting his partner with him. Early action. Garai and Steffes, of course, want to get back to the finals. They've won 6 tournaments in a row.
And 8 out of 9. They have won 48 of the last 61 together as Karch ready to put the ball in play. 86 career. And Karch whales one into the banner. Garai is 33 years old. And now Brent Frohoff will serve. Frohoff just turned 31 on May 10th. So happy birthday to the Fro. And here comes Steffes. And Steffes hits it off Ludes. Frohoff with a little cement feet that time.
Again, talking about Kent Steffes' knee, I noticed that he was getting a lot of ice treatments during the course of the tournament. There you get a look at him. Over $1 million already. Tied with the legendary Ron Von Hagen for 4th overall. A chance to pass that this week and be 4th all by himself. And you don't see Kent in the media tent very often with ice all over his knee and whatnot. And I asked Doug Anderson, one of the beach doctors, and he said, 7 games last Saturday in Phoenix did it to him, and he woke up and was a little bit sore. So that's lingering this weekend.
Here's Ludes. Also had a birthday. And Steffes taps it down the line. 1-0 semifinal. Frohoff and Ludes lead, going to 15. Steffes at the net, and Karch serving. And a big block. Steffes blocks Ricky Ludes. We're tied at 1. So Karch Garai, who has won $1,375,965 in his career, his beach career, serves it. Great pass.
Oh, hit!
Karch with a dig.
Nobody!
Frohoff with a dig. They jam. Frohoff yells at Steffes.
Nobody!
Ludes is there. What a rally. Can he put it away? No, not yet. Old Pinky Hat is there. And Karch thunders it.
Unbelievable rally.
What a great point. One of the most enjoyable points I've seen all summer long. Good digging, great reading by Frohoff. Knows that Karch wants to go hard, deep middle. And again, Kirai with a good read defensively and then slicing down the line. What a great point early on in this match.
First 20-second timeout taken by Brent Frohoff and Ricky Ludes. You're allowed 4 per team per game. Brian Steffes by 1. So huffing and puffing just a bit after that rally. $100,000 total here in San Jose. 20-11-4, 9-0-3-0. 7130 and 5700. The payout through 25th place by the AVP. This is a brand new site this year in San Jose, a little different area than we played 4 years ago, as Karch whips up the ace into the wind. That wind becoming a big factor now.
Huge advantage for the team on the good side. See, you're faced with a double-edged sword here. Karch can really rip it off here. You see the ball just diving over the top of the tape, but if Ludes creeps up, Karch will go over his shoulder.
Or go down the line.
I was getting to that. I was getting
I know we got a commercial coming up.
Down the line goes Karch Kirai.
4-1. We're coming back after this.
Did you know the new federal cable TV regulations give you more service options if you have a problem with your cable service? You can either do the repairs yourself or pay someone else.
Or a TCI service technician can repair the problem, and we will bill you using our hourly service charge.
Or you can choose the easiest new alternative.
TCI's Inside Wiring Maintenance Program. It's just 49 cents a month.
In-home service costs are covered under this plan without additional charge.
Just give us a call. We'll take care of the rest.
Call TCI Cablevision for complete inside wire maintenance program details.
Never buy color toilet paper.
Now the information you need to cure over 130 common health problems is always on hand.
Act now and you'll also get this fabulous book, Meals That Heal, free.
Page 497.
Use oatmeal to end the itch of poison ivy.
Page 570.
Call now to get the doctor's book of home remedies free for 3 weeks. Keep it and we'll bill you in 4 easy installments of only $6.99.
Call 1-800-423-2121.
The country's best collegiate golfers have their sights set on the national championship. Join us for live coverage of the 1994 NCAA Women's Golf Championship.
Third round action, Friday at 3, live on HSE.
Back at the Miller Lite Open here in San Jose, 4-1 is our score. At the end of the year, Miller Lite Beer gives out $750,000 in prize money. It's called the Miller Lite Cup. Right now, Kirai and Steffes with 80 points. Dodd and Whitmarsh had a bad finish this week. That will hurt them. Randy Stoklos and Adam Johnson could move into second place, Paul.
Well, and there's so much money up for grabs. Ricky Luty's. Brian Lewis has missed a couple of tournaments due to injury. Troy Tanner up there having a super season so far, although he and Wes Welch did not play particularly well this weekend. Important that they bounce back. A satisfied customer enjoying a beautiful day in Northern California.
They say that in San Jose there are 300 sunny days a year. That's coming from the tourism board. Got some interesting tidbits for you today, Paul Sunderland.
That's because all the fog gets left over on the coastline up this way.
Karchkarai serving. His team trying to get into the final 4-1. Good competition last week against Adam Johnson and Randy Stoklos. It may happen again this week. Of course, Frohoff and Luty's now on the good side, and they are tremendous servers.
Well, and watch Brent Frohoff. In the match prior to this against Seaman and Swadek, Brent Frohoff's serve was devastating. Getting an up-close view from the glide path. Tossing the ball lower.
Perfect pass. Look out. Luty's made. Oh, and Steffes jams it right through Luty's.
What a smart play. Ricky Luty's with a big advantage there because the poor set from Karch-Kiraly. Watch this. Karch spins it up with the wind. You can see how it's blowing tighter, tighter. And Steffes just has the wherewithal to go ahead and push that ball through the big block.
Very nice play by Steffes. And Steffes is there. Karch on 2.
Can't make any mistakes. Steffes motoring around the backcourt right now. And again, Steffes and Kiraly take turns blocking. Whoever is not serving takes the blocking responsibilities. And come towards the end of an event, they're just a lot fresher as a team as opposed to, let's say, Randy Stoklos, who blocks all the time, or Ricky Luty's the opponent now who blocks all the time for his partner, Brent Frohoff.
5-1, and Luty's thunders one into the corner. Ricky Luty's 6 career Open wins. The former U.S. champion. He's got a gold medal that he won in Seoul, Korea as part of that great Karch-Kiraly squad. Had an interesting season this year. Played most of his tournaments with Brian Lewis. Lewis is still out. We hope to have him back maybe next week or the week after. He banged his knee on a railroad tie and suffered a severe bone bruise, according to the beach doctors.
And from what I could surmise, this week his knee is still very swollen, and it may be another week or two before he's able to get back out and play.
Here's Frohoff, one of the most versatile players on tour. Frohoff, one of the only players in beach volleyball history, I think there are about 9 or 10 of them, that has won tournaments on both sides.
Ricky Luty's his partner would be another. One with Mike Dodd on the left and Karch-Kiraly on the right.
Yes, he did. Here comes Karch. And Frohoff left hands it. One bouncing into the crowd. 5-1 semifinal action. If you're one of those that writes that you love to see Karch-Kiraly and Kent Steffes play each week on television, you are getting a bonanza today. You'll see him twice. Karch with the block.
Getting ahead of yourself just a little bit. But the way they have played throughout the course of this season, the chance is quite good that they will advance to the finals. Been in the finals of every tournament so far this year, and Kiraly and Steffes get another point from the bad side. All important to get those points from the bad side in these windy conditions.
I guess that's what you call a Freudian slip. You're thinking about something and it comes out that way, but it's not actually accurate.
Okay.
Write my resume right there. Ricky Luty serving 6-1. Kiraly and Steffes.
He's up, over.
Nice dig by Luty's. Frohoff going to chase it down. And a pretty darn good set.
Good. Here we go. Go ahead. He's up.
That's a great set. And easily tapping it through. Does Luty's have to tee off on one like that? Or just try to put it away a little.
You know, he hit a good shot.
Yeah.
You know, they're on the good side, but that set's blowing into the wind. It's going back over his head. He had a good deep shot. Steffes read him extremely well. And not once, but twice in a row, Kiraly bump set the ball extremely well. Gave Steffes chances to save the side out.
Frohoff chops it down the line, side out.
Nice shot by Brent Frohoff.
Imperative that Frohoff and Luty score with their jump serve, be it from the good side or bad side. Down 6-1 now. They have built their game around jump serving and blocking. of Ricky Luty's. They have to score with it. And Fro tossing the ball much lower than he has been the last several weeks, indicative of the windy conditions here today.
Can't throw it up too high when the wind is blowing that hard. The ball a little lighter this year. They're using that Spalding Top Flight Gold, which is just a little lighter than the blue one I think they used the last couple of years. Frohoff blows it out of bounds. Now they're going to have a discussion.
You didn't. The ball's this far out. Line move. He's the line. On the line and called it. I saw it. I can overrule it. I can overrule it. He's got a better angle than you do. No, I do. He called it. That ball's out. That ball's out. He's standing right. I saw it. It's this far out. The line did move from the sand. Doesn't matter what the ball mark is. Here we go. He called it. Ask him.
Well, it could be a crucial play here. Very difficult to determine. The ball hit by Brent Frohoff. I don't know, what do you think? Not definitive from that angle.
I'll tell you, remember, if the ball hits the sand goes onto the line and moves, the ball is out. The ball has to hit the line,
on the way out of bounds. Agreed. The question was, it was a very, very hard hit ball. Very fast shot.
Let's listen. The ball mark, and I'm calling it on the ball mark, is what I'm calling it on. And he's saying he saw it hit the rope.
All right, we're going to take a short break. The players will scream at the ref for a minute or two.
They'll still be doing it when we come back.
Why go to the beach just to get beached? Into the pure, clean taste. Why just get a little bit wet? Plunge into nasty. Plunge in totally. Plunge in.
Collect. What are you doing? You're asking for acceptance. Not the time to be inconsiderate, and not the time to dial 0.
Hi, lover. If I really cared about you, I would have dialed 1-800-COLLECT and saved you up to 44%. But I don't, so I didn't. I'm naughty.
Collect the boyfriend, huh?
He refused my call.
No.
He pretended he didn't even know me.
Hey, baby, where's the fire?
Ever since Southwest Airlines introduced Friends Fly Free, people have gotten friendlier.
Sugar Plum, your favorite pillow.
If you make reservations and buy your round-trip ticket at our regular low, unrestricted fare, a friend gets to fly with you, free.
Hey, Dad, seen the head trimmer?
There's no advance purchase and tickets are fully refundable.
Here's that putter I borrowed last year. Oh, buddy.
Southwest Airlines Friends Fly Free. It's great for your pocketbook and your popularity.
Welcome back to San Jose, California. Let's now pick up action a little later in our semifinal with Karch and Kent up by 5.
Thank you all for coming out here.
Chris Marlowe, Paul Sunderland. Let's check out the other finishers. Doug Faust, Brian Gatsky in 9th. Scott Friedrichsen, Leif Hansen in 9th. Mike Meinier. Don't even know who he is. Justin Perlstrom in 9th. So that's a surprise. Al Jantz, Pat Powers. I think they were the guys that beat
Brazilians.
Yeah, how about that? Eric Fenoy Moana, Dan Verbalovich in 7th. Kevin Martin, Chris Young in 7th. Eric Boyles, Jeff Rogers took a 5th. And we're back to the action. And Karch and Kent kind of drooped that one right in the bottom of the net. Keep going. The Brazilians, Basil and Loyola in 5th. They were knocked out by Canyon Seaman and David Swadek. Former Stanford, former UCLA players. A youngster-dominated team that played very, very well this weekend.
Oh, you're there!
They could be a factor in weeks to come as they get more confidence on the beach, don't you think?
Well, they play a lot like Kirai and Steffes. They take turns blocking. They serve very well.
Yeah, they hit them.
And Canyon Seaman is still a student at Stanford. He's got 3 more weeks before he graduates and moves back down to the South Bay where he can play every day. Right now, I said, Canyon, you getting a chance to practice? He says, well, there's a beach court at my fraternity. I said,
what enough, Karch? And it's double contact. Karch guided it to Frohoff. Frohoff thought he was going to get lead heat.
It's not a clean play.
Ball did not come out cleanly.
It's not clean.
Be a driven
it didn't come out clean. Come out clean? Did he lift it or did he double it or what? He lifted the ball because it didn't. That's why it came out bad.
He lifted it? That's no bad.
Let's go. Both. It was a double and a lift. Let's go.
Is that correct? I just don't think it was a driven ball.
No, I think that's the call. That's a shot.
Yeah.
Because the ball came out very cleanly. Fro has got sweet hands.
He sure does. Some of the best on the beach.
Yeah, it was a relatively tight call, but it's one that needs to be made because it was not a hard-driven ball by the spiker Karch Kirayan on the beach. You can only dig the ball that way on a hard-driven ball, and it ends up costing Ludes and Frohoff another point.
Steffes got the block. It is now 12-6. As Karch, methodical, looking for another appearance in the finals. Karch and Kent have been in every final played this year. One of the most dominating performances in history. Of course, only one man, we repeat this, one man has won all the tournaments in 1 year. That was the great Ron Lang back in 1966. However, a friend of mine called me up the other day, Gene Pfluger, who was an all-time great player, and he said, hey, I beat Lang in the State Beach Mix that year. Lang had won all the tournaments. He had won the Manhattan six-man, but I beat him in the State Beach Mix, so try to get that on the show. And I said, okay, Gene, we'll get it in there. Gene Pfluger beat Ron Lang in the State Beach Mix.
Historically, years and years ago, mixed tournaments, there weren't very many, but they were prestigious tournaments. And I know that you did very well in a few.
Yes. I was always big on the mixed format. 3:03 to go, 12-6. And here is Brent Frohoff. Career, he's earned over $700,000.
There's the high toss.
Karch having a little trouble with it. Wind really howling now. Frohoff spears it back over. Steffes going on two.
Rolling a little bit right now, struggling, but passing from the bad side. The Brent Frohoff jump serve extremely well. That's what makes things possible. And then just good versatility and athleticism.
Steffes will jump from his offside, and he aces right down the husband and wife territory.
And Steffes and Kirayan know all about that turf.
Yeah.
They have just about perfected the hubby-wife. This one drops short, and look, Ludes, look at it, right in unison, looking at one another. You take it.
A couple of bachelors on the hubby-wife play that time, so a little different kind of mode. Here's Ricky, and Ricky going over the top. Nice shot. So Ricky Ludes, nicknamed the Creature, played with Randy Stoklos at the end of last year. Remember those two playing in the U.S. Championship? That was the all-brawn team, the little Abner squad. Ludes powerfully built. And Steffes bounced it out of bounds off the tape. So the attack is wide. Ludes and Frohoff get a point. 2:43 to play. 13-7. The Kings of the Beach by 6.
I've worked with wood a long time, and believe me, no job's done until it's finished. With Duxback Total Wood Finish. Left untreated, the sun's burning rays can destroy wood's natural beauty. Duxback penetrates, seals, and protects to resist warping, cracking, and splitting. And cleanup is easy with soap and water. Take it from a guy who knows. Nothing fights back the sun like Duxback. And look for Duxback Clear Waterproofing Sealer for brick, masonry, and pressure-treated lumber.
Well, it's vacation time again. Lucky for you, it's also your Texas Ford dealer's Family Value Days. Your best chance to get a great deal on that perfect vacation transportation, like a Taurus or an Escort, both available in wagons, too. Or if a minivan fits into your plans, there's the roomy Aerostar and the brand new Windstar. You could even save over $1,900 on an Explorer. Of course, you can always put the top down on a hot new Mustang convertible when the focus is on value. Look to your Texas Ford dealer for a family of cars and trucks that are simply picture perfect.
Hi, everybody. I'm Al LeGrand.
And I'm Chris Katulak, Louisiana Downs track announcer. Join us every Tuesday evening at 6 o'clock on HSE for Inside Louisiana Downs.
Feature races, national races of the week, outstanding stakes events, and we'll take you inside Louisiana Downs for a look at trainers and jocks and really what makes horse racing what it is.
That's Inside Louisiana Downs every Tuesday evening at 6 o'clock on HSE.
Don't miss it. We'll see you.
13-7, Karai Stefan leading here in San Jose. Time now for player digs. We asked the guys what they thought of the females that follow the tour, the female fans, of course.
Everybody's always asking me, Kevin, where are the girls on the tour? Now, Hawaii is extremely solid. Other than that, you got Florida, all the stops there. Fort Myers is really good always. Midwest is kind of shaky. We need to do a little bit more recruiting in the Midwest. But you can't beat Southern California. It's hands down. Southern California, Manhattan, Palisades, San Diego. It's just out of control there, as you know.
They're nice. They come watch my games. They give me nice looks. I give fly bang downs. They look again. I give them flexes. Whatever they need, I give. But my girl at home can't be mad because I'm making money, baby.
The women are pretty good all around, but some of the middle places you go, the small cities, you get like the one-eyebrowed sloths, you know. But other than that, there's some good-looking girls. The big cities, it just seems to bring them out.
I'm in awe of the women this year. We love them. We love them.
13-7 is our score. Karai Stefas up by 6. And Frohoff has a dig on the bad side. Ludy's going back over, and Karch, did he open hand that?
It also looked like Karch contacted the ball first.
He hit that with his open hand, Paul. Didn't he open hand his?
I'm not so sure about that, but it certainly looked like he contacted the ball first, which as a blocker he cannot do. And clearly the ball was on Frohoff and Ludy's side.
Let's go.
Rick Krause has earned his money this match.
He has.
Or maybe he hasn't.
Here's Frohoff. Karch with the dig. Steph is chasing.
Good. Over.
Nice set. Oh, and Ludy's with heat. Did he touch the net? That's the side out to Ludy's and Frohoff. Let's take a look at that play just a moment ago when Karch seemed to joust it.
Set coming a long way.
Yeah, he open hand.
He did. Violation ×2. Open hand dink, and Kirai's the blocker. The ball is on the side of that man, Brent Frohoff. He has the right to attack the ball first.
Good catch by our crew, Sven Laszlo and Brian Cooper heading it up today. And it's right to Karch, and he puts it away.
Point to Karai Stefan.
Now 14-7. Karai and Steph is just 1 point away from moving on. Are you glad to be back? Are you feeling good?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It was a lot of fun. You know, covering the NBA playoffs. The intensity of the players. They're so hyped because the regular season is over and they've really gotten down to it. It was a lot of fun.
That does it. So Karai and Stefas, the Kings of the Beach, advance. Frohoff and Ludy's finish a strong third. But now the question, can the Kings do it once again to Johnson and Stokos? We'll send Sunderland down to the beach to find out.
Hair that is free-flowing, like the sea. Living in harmony with light, dancing in its shadows. Fit, vibrant hair. Nourished and cared for by the elements of our earth. This is Paul Mitchell hair.
Remember, buy the real Paul Mitchell products in salons only.
When you come out to play and a thirst comes on, pull out the stops. Gatorade Thirst Quencher. To quench your deep down body thirst. To quench it to the core. Absorbed faster than water. The optimal formula. To quench it now. Refresh your body. Nothing works harder. Faster. Better. Scientifically tested. Athletically proven. To kick your thirst. Gatorade Thirst Quencher. For that deep down body thirst.
Out to play.
Kevin Eschenfelder in the clubhouse. Southwest Airlines Sports Break. The Astros at Fulton County Stadium this afternoon to take on the Atlanta Braves. And in the bottom of the second inning, watch Ken Caminetti extend, absolutely robbing Javier Lopez of the RBI with a runner on third. Ken Caminetti, big-time play at third base. And the Astros lead it in the bottom of the third inning by a score of 1-0. Steve Finley with the RBI single. Well, to no one's surprise, Akeem Olajuwon was named the league's most valuable player this afternoon. The Dream averaged 27.3 points per game, 12.9 rebounds a contest. Akeem received 66 out of a possible 101 first-place votes. You see the numbers from this season, 27 points a game, 12 rebounds, and in the playoffs, he has stepped it up even more. Rangers just underway in Kansas City. We'll have more throughout the evening. This has been the Southwest Airlines Sports Break. I'm Kevin Eschenfelder.
AVP Volleyball is being brought to you by Paul Mitchell Salon Hair Care. Cruelty-free by the real Paul Mitchell in salons only. By 1-800-COLLECT, America's inexpensive way to call collect. Use it every time you make a long-distance call. By Killaloo Performance Sunglasses by Bausch & Lomb. Tested by athletes, not machines. By Southwest Airlines. It's just plain smart. And by Nestea. Why get just a little bit wet? Plunge into Nestea. Karch Karai and Ken Steffes do it again here in our semifinal. They are marching on to our championship final. They win it 15-8 over Brent Frohoff and Ricky Ludes. Let's go down to Paul Sunderland.
All right, Chris, into the finals for the 10th straight tournament. Karch Karai and Ken Steffes. What effect does this breeze have down here? You seem to do a pretty good job of playing and scoring well on both the good side and the bad side. Did you make some adjustments as the tournament went on?
No, I mean, there's a lot of wind at a lot of sites we play at. There's a good side, bad side, just like there's a good side, bad side on the beaches in Southern California where we practice at. And we do a lot of siding out on the bad side when we practice, and that helps us come through during the game.
Karch, you played a lot of games last week, coming through the loser's bracket. Only one extra game this week. And again, Adam Johnson and Randy Stoklos in the finals. How do you see that matchup?
Well, obviously, we're not going to be as tired this weekend, and I don't mind doing that occasionally, what we did last weekend, just to make sure our conditioning's right, and it was evident that it was, but we don't want to do that every weekend. So I think it should be a good final. They played well earlier in beating us 13-12, and obviously we have to beat them twice now.
All right, the finals of the winner's bracket was a battle. We're looking forward to the same in the finals. Back to you, Chris.
All right, Paul Sunderland, that's coming up in a few minutes. Karch Karai, Ken Steffes, Randy Stoklos, and Adam Johnson. And as Karch told you, once again, they have to beat the Dream Team twice to win this championship. Okay, time now for my favorite part, cards and letters, kudos and comments, even a little criticism. This week we go into the mailbag, sponsored by Paul Mitchell Salon Hair Care. We're in the bag with Chris Young. Chris Young. All right, forget the lemonade mush. Come on over here. The big stars are here. Chris Young, one of the AVP's young guns. Tell them who you are, bud.
Third-year pro, Chris Young, right here.
All right, question, Kelly and Terry Robinson, Pleasant Grove, Utah. Sounds like a nice place to live. She wants to know if the ball hits outside the line but blows sand on the line and the line moves, is that good?
Ball is out. It's got to hit the tape to be in. Ref may call it in, but you argue. Tell the ball to not hit the tape.
Next question, John Redford, Los Angeles, California. Why don't players on the AVP Tour dink or use pokies more often? Every time I see it, it works.
First of all, the dink is illegal, open-handed. You can't do this with the ball. Secondly, you have a big blocker like me, and I'm getting all the little stuff around here. And I just see the dink coming and shove it down in their face.
Okay, it's not very effective, is it?
No,
most
not
of the time.
effective at all.
He also wants to know, how can I write my favorite AVP players? I'm going to show you this right here as you get your lemonade. If you send it, care of the volleyball mailbag, 10,000 Santa Monica Boulevard, Los Angeles, California. I got one for Christopher St. John St. John Smith, probably a check for about $100,000, but I'm going to give it to St. John when I see him a little later here today. Now, Liz Moore from Chicago, Illinois wants to know the critical question of this beach bag. Who are the single guys on the tour this season? Which ones are the stud puppies and which ones are the church boys?
Just one guy comes to mind in the stud puppy, Scott Fredrickson. Always looking, always available.
He's unbelievable on a Saturday night. It's like a done deal, isn't it?
Mike Whitmarsh is a nice guy also.
And who are the church boys? Karch,
Adam Johnson, Troy Tanner, and the biggest church person of them all, Eric Boyles.
Eric Boyles, okay, because he's actually a reverend. Okay, final question. Mr. Marlowe, Mr. Sunderland, it comes from Art Nueva, Pearl City, Hawaii. Who's the biggest trash talker on the beach?
Everybody's a trash talker, except for me, of course.
But who gives the most gas?
Hovland is always up there. Let's see, Karch a little bit. Tony Zapata, some of the lower ranked players that want to get their name out there. Matt Unger.
Okay, basically those guys. And what do they say to you?
Everybody.
In your face.
Don't hit it so hard, Chris. You're killing me.
All right. You know, that's a false hit. We got to go. Your AVP
Robert
t-shirt.
Chavez is probably one of the best. My former partner.
AVP t-shirt is on the way.
Best.
To us at the Beach Volleyball mailbag. Care of Prime Ticket Network, 10,000 Santa Monica Boulevard, Los Angeles, California, 90067.
Did you know the new federal cable TV regulations give you more service options if you have a problem with your cable service? You can either do the repairs yourself or pay someone else.
Or a TCI service technician can repair the problem, and we will bill you using our hourly service charge.
Or you can choose the easiest new alternative.
TCI's inside wiring maintenance program. It's just 49 cents a month.
In-home service costs are covered under this plan without additional charge. Just give us a call. We'll take care of the rest.
Call TCI Cablevision for complete inside wire maintenance program details.
This is non-stop action, up close and in your face. Call now to order. The winner by a knockout. Top Rank's greatest knockouts, volumes 1 and 2. Together only $19.98. Don't miss the bell. Call now.
Call now to order Top Rank's greatest knockouts. This video makes the perfect gift. Sorry, no CODs. For faster delivery, please have your credit card ready. Call 1-800-592-1222. That's 1-800-592-1222.
It's two times the excitement. The NASCAR circuit heats up in Charlotte, North Carolina. Beginning 10:30 Wednesday on HSE.
Back in San Jose, getting ready for final action. But first, it is time for the Fun Cam presented by Southwest Airlines. Here comes the Fun Cam.
Need a little beer. Wash that dust down. Nice cold beer.
Perfect. The Fun Cam presented by Southwest Airlines. It is just plain smart.
Jordan, you want to try one more time?
Ticket and tour information. If you want to get a priority site at some future tournament, you can call the AVP. 1-800-793-TOUR. 1-800-793-TOUR. Tell them Paul Sunderland sent you and see what that gets you. 1-800-793-TOUR. Coming up, Karch Karai, Kent Steffes going up against Randy Stoklos and Adam Johnson for the second time in 2 weeks. Well, times have changed for Kent Steffes. He joined the tour in 1988. Now he is, well, one of the top stars in the AVP Tour. We put together this profile.
We've seen my weekend office. Now this is my weekday office. I got my business suit on, straighten up my tie here. Let's get to work. Come on down. This is the gym I train at twice a week. As you can see, it's underground, the way I like it. Nice and dank and dark in here. No foofy stuff. Just people working out. A lot of metal, a lot of steel, and a lot of big buff bodies. Come on, I'll show you my workout. for myself is that I want to win every game I play. I've never set a goal like, you know, I'd like to win X amount of tournaments per year. I'd like to be this number ranked. I go out every time to play to beat the team 15-0. My goal is to, you know, win beach volleyball tournaments, to win the most beach volleyball tournaments I can, to be the #1 player.
But how can Kent be #1 when he's already playing with #1?
Karch Kiraly, the best player, perhaps, you know, that I've ever seen, perhaps the country's ever seen. He's just been a joy to play with. You know, most of the success I've had has come through his help. I wouldn't be able to accomplish things I've accomplished without a player of his caliber. The edge that Karch and I have is that we train, I think, the hardest of any team on the beach. I think we approach the year differently than other players in that we want to win every single event.
Kent Steffes is tied for 4th on the all-time list. But what's he really like?
I'm a strong conservative, a huge Republican, voted for Reagan and willing to admit it. Voted for Bush twice, willing to admit that too. I don't think I could ever vote for a Democrat ever. You know, keep away from those tax rates getting higher. They're taking all the money that we're earning. If we can get Bill out in '96, that'll be a step in the right direction. You want to talk Rush Limbaugh? Listen to the guy every morning, watch his 3 o'clock TV show. The guy's a god, G-O-D God.
Right, Kent. But one thing is for sure, he loves volleyball. Steffes, I mean.
I like the fact that, you know, a lot of people come out there to watch what Karch and Kent are doing on tour, that, you know, the amount of support that we have from the fans and from people for us to win. You know, people come up and want your autograph. It's very flattering to know that people support what you're doing out there, that you could send them home in the afternoon a little happier than when they came. You know, again, we are entertainers. Our job is entertain, and hopefully the people find a lot of entertainment watching us play. And, you know, I really enjoy, you know, making people happy, making them, you know, say, God, that was a great tournament I just watched. I just can't wait for the next AVP tour to come around.
Yo, check it out. Here's what I gotta know. Did you guys come out to play or what? Oh, showtime. Yo, Gatorade in the house, y'all.
This thirst is getting deeper.
Gatorade, can you quench my thirst all the way to the soles of my size 13s? So if you come out to play without your Gatorade, you better call your mother to pick you up. The Gatorade thirst quench, just for that deep down body thirst.
No job's done until it's finished. With Duxback Total Wood Finish, rain and moisture can strip wood of its natural beauty. Duxback penetrates, seals, and cleanup is easy with soap and water. Nothing sheds water like Duxback. Nothing fights back the sun like Duxback. The sun's burning rays can destroy wood's natural beauty. Duxback penetrates, seals, and protects, and cleanup is easy with soap and water. Duxback Total Wood Finish.
Right about now, you'll see a lot of Texans flying a flag to remember the past and show pride in who we are now. Well, your Texas Ford dealers are proud to show their colors, too, because of the 10 best-selling vehicles in America, foreign or domestic. 5 are Fords. And during your Texas Ford dealers' Family Value Days, you can save on every one. Save big on a Taurus or an F-150. Even save on an Explorer. It's the biggest sales event of the year. Family Value Days at your Texas Ford dealer, the symbol of value in Texas.
At the Miller Lite Open here in San Jose, California, getting set for championship final action. It's going to be a great one once again. We know it. Kiraly, Steffes, Johnson, and Stoklos for the second time in 2 weeks, and you're going to get to see one this week.
Well, and I'm looking forward to it. They had an epic final last week. Adam Johnson and Randy Stoklos winning the winner's bracket, and then Karch Kiraly and Kent Steffes struggling all the way through in the Phoenix heat and finding a way to get it done. And a little lucky, quite frankly, getting it done in the double final last week.
Johnson and Stoklos could have won it. Yeah. They were up 5-4 when this play occurred. Stokey with a chance to go to 6-4. Let's pick it up.
Okay, this was the play right here. This was a swing for a point. AJ is screaming, Randy, angle! 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 But he didn't. He went down the line. Steffes makes the defensive play, and there you see what eventually becomes the final score.
How would you say that again?
Angle!
All right, what about Johnson and Stoklos? One good thing we can say about them, They're playing beautifully, and they're improving each week, it looks like.
Yeah, I think Randy Stokos is playing really well. He looks strong. He's serving the ball extremely well. Always sets the ball great, hitting well. Adam Johnson getting more and more comfortable on the right side. It's a big adjustment, but he's getting better each week, and this is a good chance for them to finally get a victory in 94.
Karai and Steffes, 8 out of 9. They're just so good and so methodical, it's hard to pick against them.
Well, how can you? I mean, I don't think any of the players would. I think if Adam Johnson and asked Randy Stokos, say, well, you know, they've beaten us so far this year, but they haven't been that smooth so far in this tournament. However, in the finals of the losers bracket against Frohoff and Ludes, they looked exceptional. And I talked to Steffes. She said, hey, we're playing good now. What happened earlier was earlier.
It's pretty windy right now. Would that be a big factor, and who would it favor?
I think it might be a factor in favor of Adam Johnson and Randy Stokos. Johnson's the best server of the 4. Randy Stokos is the best setter of the 4. So Johnson can take advantage of the wind in terms of his serving, and Stokos can take advantage in terms of siding out with his setting. But we shall see.
All right, let's check. Who do you like, quick?
I like Johnson and Stokos this week.
All right, we'll find out coming up. The serve after this. AVP Volleyball is being brought to you by Miller Lite, great taste, less filling. Can your beer do this? By Paul Mitchell Salon Hair Care, cruelty-free. By the real Paul Mitchell and Salons only. By 1-800-COLLECT, America's inexpensive way to call collect. Use it every time you make a long-distance phone call. By Killer Loop Sunglasses, by Bausch & Lomb, tested by athletes, not machines. By Southwest Airlines is just plain smart. And by Nestea, why get just a little bit wet? Plunge into Nestea.
Miller Lite presents Full Contact Golf. Yes, this summer it's not just a sport, it's a free t-shirt. The Full Contact Golf t-shirt. Just look for specially marked packages of Miller Lite at your favorite store. Find this can and win instantly. There are over 500,000 t-shirts to be won.
Cool. Hey, cool shirt. Thanks.
The Full Contact Golf t-shirt coming into full contact with you. Only from Miller Lite.
Hey, great shirt.
Great beer. Can your beer do this?
Common courtesy. It's coming back. Take collect calls. Instead of 0, now you can dial 1-800-COLLECT. Save the people you call up 44%. Question. Who is the fossil that is still going to dial 0?
Hey, dude, I could have saved you some cash on this call, but what do I care? We're getting the band back together.
Hey, Slick, you could have spoken for a lot less by dialing 1-800-COLLECT.
Even to Seattle? Thanks, phone dude.
Research has demonstrated that the ergogenic effect of carbohydrates...
No other beverage has been proven more effective than Gatorade at
Consuming Gatorade during exercise has been shown to
absorb 30% faster than water.
Gatorade contains the optimal balance of carbohydrates and electrolytes.
No other beverage has been proven more effective at replacing...
Nothing quenches your deep-down body thirst better.
Scientifically tested, athletically proven. Only Gatorade Thirst Quencher is liquid technology.
For that deep-down body thirst.
Come out to play!
Welcome back to the AVP Tour. Yeah, things are shaking here in the heart of Silicon Valley. Chris Marlowe, Paul Sunderland, championship final action. As you see, Guadalupe River Park. That's what this place is technically called, the San Jose Open. Johnson Stokos, Karai Steffes. Karchik can't have to win 2, just like they did last week, and wind is going to be a huge factor. It is blowing very, very hard right now as Steffes gets the first kill. So Kent Steffes will serve. He's 6'4", 210, 25 years old. The AVP Rookie of the Year back in '89. Last week he tied the greatest, Ron Von Hagen, at 62. And he'll serve Randy Stokos.
No, wait, nobody! Go, 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 go!
Steffes left hands it up, and AJ paws it over.
Steffes doing an outstanding job getting to that ball, and Karch just got it on him very, very quickly. Could not bump set the ball. This is a great shot. This is slicing it off from 10 feet off the net. Steffes is there, a play Karai would normally set.
Here's a pretty good set there, and Steffes puts it straight down. So Steffes with a couple of quick kills, going for another kill loop kill award, which will be presented. All-American for Karch, 4 years, 33 years old. And it's off Karch, out of bounds. Good shot, Adam Johnson.
I really think Adam Johnson is the key here today. I think he's really got to come up with a good, strong defensive performance. And, you know, he was Defensive Player of the Year last year, if my memory serves me correctly, on the AVP Tour. And he needs to be able to dig balls, particularly against Kent Steffes when he's in the angle.
Got to come up with the big digs on an important play. We'll see if AJ can do that today. No score, just the start of our final as the service error registered. And the ball back to Steffes. Steffes and Karai on the good side. Oof, straight down goes Randy Stoklos.
No doubt about the call that time, maybe reminiscent of last week. Adam Johnson said, hey, I called it for my big partner, Randy Stoklos, now 33 years of age. Has had such a phenomenal career. Most of it, of course, was St. John Smith.
Karch, and Karch chopping inside.
Randy Stoklos, we talked about how much better he was attacking the ball, but Karch returning the favor here, slicing and dicing so sharply inside the block.
Serve just long. And now Johnson will have the ball. He's won 10 titles. Got a couple last year. 1991 U.S. Open champion with Ricky Ludes. That's tight, and Karch able to jam up and over. Karch still benefiting from very springy legs. He once jumped over 40 inches indoors.
Yeah, 40 plus, 44, 45, and this is just high pokey over the top. And when you have his physical abilities, you get a set that's too tight to the net. You just say, okay, legs take over. Over the top you go.
Steffes with the serve. Once again, Karch and Kent have to win 2. 1 game to 15, and then another double final to 7. Stoklos and Johnson just 1 game. 1 game to 15 to win their first tournament of the year.
First tournament, of course, ever together.
Karch, and both teams siding out very well off the bat. So here is Karch. Blocked by Steffes. Solid point.
Kent Steffes improving all the time on his blocking, in particularly, I think, reaching way over into the angle.
1-0 Karai Steffes. Tough serving. And it's off Steffes that time, out of bounds.
From the attack side out, Johnson going back to serve.
So Adam Johnson, who's 29 years old now, been a pro for 6 years. And he's into the net again. So the second service error for Johnson.
Tough to jump serve, of course. Randy Stoklos, Adam Johnson on the bad side, and indeed the bad side. A wind blowing probably about 15 miles per hour at their backs. It's difficult to control the toss, control the jump serve.
Stoklos is passing beautifully. That time Karch was there. AJ, and AJ looks much, much stronger on the right at the moment. Take time out. 1-0 is our score.
Hair that is free-flowing, like the sea, living in harmony with light, dancing in its shadows. Fit, vibrant hair, nourished and cared for by the elements of our earth. This is Paul Mitchell hair.
Remember, buy the real Paul Mitchell product in salons only.
When you call collect, what are you doing? You're asking for acceptance. Not the time to be inconsiderate, and not the time to dial 0.
Hi, lover. If I really cared about you, I would have dialed 1-800-COLLECT and saved you up to 44%. But I don't, so I didn't. I'm naughty.
Collect the boyfriend, huh?
He refused my call.
No.
He pretended he didn't even know me.
Hey, baby, where's the fire?
Into the pure, clean taste.
Sir, do you think there'll ever, sir? Hello. Do you think there'll ever be an airline that's on time, has great customer service, and still charges low fares?
Sure, when whales fly.
Southwest Airlines. It's just plain smart. Frequent flyers on most airlines are thousands of miles from a free trip. But on Southwest Airlines, our company club frequent flyer members are only 8 short round trips away. Southwest Airlines Company Club, the shortest route to free trips.
Chris Marlowe and Paul Sunderland. Miller Lite Open here in San Jose, downtown San Jose. A nice place to have a volleyball tournament. San Jose, a growing city, the 3rd largest on the West Coast now. Lots to do here, Paul. We were out shaking and baking in the nightlife
The
last night.
downtown area has been redone, renewed. Lots of beautiful hotels.
To the biggest sports bar on the West Coast last night, I think. And Karch gobbles it up, looking for a point. And,
Stokey might have gotten hurt.
Might have hurt his shoulder. He had his arms out in the sand, and here comes the medical crew.
That looked bad. Got his wrist caught underneath himself. He just couldn't go for the ball. Now that he's moving his wrist, I'm glad to see that. I thought
look
that
how
he
many
dislocated his shoulder.
Look how many people came out.
The valuable property. Wow. What do you think if Joe Montana goes down? None of the guys on the Kansas City Chiefs medical staff run out? Look at, he got his wrist caught in the sand and just rolled right over the top of it. Boy, that looked bad when he first did it. Here it is once again. Just buries his hand in the sand and it doesn't drive through. He rolled his wrist. Boy, that could have been a lot worse.
Stokey says, hey, get away from me, I'm okay. And he's in receive posture, 2-0. They'll try Stokos. Let's see if he bombs one. Yes, he does. Nice shot by Stokos. 2-0, Clyde Steffes lead. So Adam Johnson, he was born in Portland, Oregon, lived in Redondo Beach for 8 months, back in Spokane, Washington for 5 years, then Manhattan Beach and Laguna Beach. He moved around a lot as a youngster. As that ball put away by Steffes. There's AJ. No one. Johnson looking good.
Nice control from the right side. Again, the adjustment that Adam Johnson, or any player for that matter, has to make moving from left side to right side or vice versa. It's very, very difficult. Location of set, and particularly trouble shots. Good ball control as a spiker. And Adam Johnson's getting better each week on the right side.
Steffes cranks it down the line. Score remains 2-0.
Johnson and Stokos talking an awful lot about their blocking and defensive strategy.
You know, a short serve to Stokos right now. He's awfully deep. Karch whacks it hard. Perfect set. Nice shot. And Stokos getting the call from Johnson. And once again, they're talking about it.
Really working hard to communicate. This is a team with high expectations, a history of winning, and has yet to break through in '94.
116 career wins. Of course, 114 of those with St. John Smith. Ball is up, chance for a point. Stokey, not yet. Karch was there to dig it. And Karch chops it. Stokey.
Set.
And out of the reach out Steffes. That was a pretty good play because Stokey got his knuckle up. It looked like he was going to poke it line. He kind of fisted it sideways.
Change the direction. A lot of people say, look, if he comes out with a knuckler, he can only go straight ahead. Well, for most players can. The average bear can, but not Randy Stoklos. Up with a knuckle and then change the direction. Great shot.
2-1 is our score. Karchin can't lead. And Johnson with a beautiful dig.
And swing. No one.
Nobody up. Oh, what a shot! Adam Johnson cutting some lippies.
Coming out of nowhere with a sleeveless look today. AJ, remember I said the key, digging Steffes, hard cross court, and then slices the ball right back at him. Steffes was very surprised by that shot.
Steffi stuck in the mud on that one. 2-2.
And Stoklos and Johnson, excuse me, Chris, have gotten a couple of points from the bad side. Very important.
So it's good to get points from the bad side.
Absolutely. They're worth like a 1.2 points as opposed to just 1.
First referee's Jim Leonard. He blows the whistle. Kent Steffes attacking. Stoklos is passing pretty well so far.
And over.
And Stoklos is hitting pretty well so far. Big Randy with the crank.
A lot of confidence here from Randy Stoklos, disdaining some calls and just choosing to go ahead and rip.
There's Jim Leonard, the self-proclaimed best referee on the AVP tour. And Brent Lee is the umpire.
Here. Nobody.
Steffes, and that is Steffes' shot. If he's in trouble, if he's having trouble, he's lobbing deep into the corner.
Away from his body, that's where he wants to go. A lot of people say go deep middle, and certainly that's a favorable and popular choice, but Steffes is good down the line.
That's out of bounds. Johnson and Stoklos will have it. So Adam Johnson to put the ball in play, looking for that win. If he can get it, he has not won since he played with Brooke Vandeweghe and got a victory in San Antonio, Texas last year. And off the top, out of the reach as Karch gets the kill.
And if you hear jet engines, you hear jet engines. We are right in the glide path of San Jose International Airport.
And Reno Air is just going right above us about every 15, 20 minutes.
Much like the sound you hear from Flushing Meadows in New York during the U.S. Open.
2-2 championship final. Trying to pound it at Stokey.
And come on.
Ken is there. What a sack.
Over him. Come on.
And the put away. Beautiful play.
That is a phenomenal play. First by Steffes with a one-handed bandit dig, and then Kirai set him from the good side in the wind, way up in the air. Fabulous play for the side change.
Come on out to the track where millions get paid. Go Greyhound Park, the place to play.
I come out to the park for the excitement, to see the best dogs in the world run, to bet on them. It's a challenge to win the big bucks. I've been coming for a year. It's a 2-hour round trip for me, and it's worth every minute of it. The employees are great and friendly, and I love it.
I'm gonna come out to the track. The place to play. Greyhound Park. Yeah.
On the minors, plus football, basketball, and hockey all year long. Call now and you'll get 4 free issues. If you like them, you'll get 24 more issues at this great TV price. If not, just mark the bill, cancel, and owe nothing. The 4 issues are yours to keep.
So call now for the Sporting News, the publication that treats every team like the home team.
Call now and get 4 great issues of the Sporting News free.
Call 1-800-592-1222 now.
The Final Four meet in College Park, Maryland. Fast break, jump shot, spin move, quick stick. The top teams turn it up in the NCAA Men's Lacrosse Championships. Semifinals 1 and 2 begin Saturday at 11 live on HSE.
Stop number 10 on the AVP 1994 tour. Chris Marlowe, Paul Sunderland. Little Light Open here in San Jose. Johnson and Stokos trying to hang on here. Cry and Steffes have been magnificent. They are not missing passes. They are not missing sets. They are making tremendous defensive plays. And they lead 11-4.
Now the question is, Johnson and Stoklos should not be tired. It's been beautiful conditions here. They've only played a couple of matches this morning, the semifinals and finals of the winner's bracket, which they won. Now, do they really push hard and try to win this game to 15, or Do they try to just conserve some energy for the game to 7?
I think you have to try to establish momentum and try to play a little better.
Well, I brought it up because they're on the good side. I think now's the time for them to push. If they can get 4 of the 5 on the good side, then they're going to really be feeling good whether they win, lose this game, and then move on. But they need to make a move somehow right now.
You know, stranger things have happened, Paul. Oh, Stokos called double contact.
It was a double hit, Randy.
Second throw called on Stokos. I can't remember ever 2 throws in one game.
I remember going through a season where St. John Smith was getting virtually every serve, and Randy Stokos just comes out with a little spin where Randy Stokos had about 5 throws all summer, and he was setting hundreds of balls every weekend.
12-4. Well, I can attest, when you get a little older, Stokey is 33, that your touch is not as good. You lose your hand-eye coordination. Most great players cannot set with their hands as well at the end of their career as they can at the beginning of their career.
Lose a little suppleness in your hands,
There's
and your hands get so beat. Here's Randy Stokos up there blocking every time. I mean, if you look at his hands, his fingers are bent and broken and chiseled, and
he's been just a historical rundown of players that have lost their setting touch. Stokey, pretty good fake there. A little pump fake from Stokey. A little step out. There it was.
The juke. Actually, when you see this happen, that means I ran under the ball. I mistimed it and got by.
12-4, Karch and Kent.
Okay.
Johnson, no. They rule it down.
Good try by AJ in Steffes' angle. That's the play you got to make. He's dug him a couple of times over there, but has to continue to be a threat. Steffes got to feel that if he hits the ball cross court, Adam Johnson's going to be there.
That's tight. Steffes has it. Karch has to play it over and out. Trying to lob it in, could not. I think the theory for Karch and Kent, we're going 2 games. We hope to go to 2 games. We're going to serve Stokos relentlessly and wear him out.
Wear him out, right. A minute 30 approximately left on the clock right now, and whatever is left, they're going to make Stokos work for it.
Over. Let me ask you a question. Theoretically, if Stokos and Johnson wanted to say right now, we forfeit the rest of this game, let's get on with the 7-pointer, could they do that? And save energy and just say, forget this game?
You know, I don't know the rule per se, but I don't think you can do that. Because, well, if you forfeit a game, then you're forfeiting.
No, you just say, we're done. You know, serve 3.
Yeah, but I don't. But I think you can do that all the time except in the finals in a double final situation. And that just wouldn't make any sense.
Okay.
I mean, what if you were, you know, cramping? I mean, they could lay down. They could just let, 3 balls in a row drop and do it sort of.
Or they could just walk off and have Karch and Kent serve it.
Right.
If they wanted to, just to conserve energy. Of course, they're in the winner's bracket. They should have the energy.
Oh, I don't think fatigue is the problem. I just think that Uriah and Steffes have stepped it up, and Johnson and Stokos, and just of course, as you say that, Steffes chunks one into the net.
But Steffes measuring the net for a moment, saying, wow, it's 8 feet. Of course, that's exactly how high the net is supposed to be in AVP Men's Pro Beach Volleyball. 8 feet in the rule book.
Same height, of course, as the net indoors for Olympic International Collegiate Competition for men.
Might be some little metric difference there, I think.
There is metrically, but in the United States, it's 8 feet.
Okay. Stokey against Karch.
Ooh, that could have been a throw. That was worse than Stokos's, I thought.
Karch and Kent don't complain all that much about referees' calls.
Up 12-5.
Yeah,
not much to worry about.
And it's off Johnson, out of bounds. So Johnson up there blocking for once.
Maybe a time where Stokos and Johnson are deciding that with a minute left, this game is gone. And Randy Stokos going to conserve his legs a little bit for the double final, put Adam Johnson up there to do the blocking chores.
That's out. And AJ will put the ball in play. Does Adam Johnson wear a toupee? We'll investigate. No. Nice hair there. He's got the wedgie. You know anybody on tour that wears a toupee?
No.
No, not yet, but some guys soon might be needing them. side.
It's all real.
We're not going to name names on that one, are we? No. 12-5, Karai, Steffes, Stokos, and Johnson.
You can hear the wind in some of our courtside microphones. Difficult challenge for the players.
Steffes has the dig. He's coming on the left. Sunderland likes him on the left. And Stokos digs him on the left. Carts back the other way.
That's out of here.
Nice play by Stokos and Johnson.
Hey, good play by everybody. Karai just putting a little bit too much wood on it at the end of this play. Again, they are on the good side. Kent just trying to pop this ball up someplace, somewhere to hit the ball. Karts lobs it up there, and the wind just does the rest of the work, or damage.
41 seconds to play. Clock definitely going to be a factor unless Ace City comes quickly. Johnson up high. Point.
AJ, a much underrated, unknown quantity as a blocker because you just never see him up there, just like Mike Dodd for years and years. Everybody said, he can't block. That's why Hobbs up there, but that wasn't the case at all.
That's going to be 8 points. Johnson and Stokos unload and get a point. Maybe too little, too late, however. 12-7. You can do that 4 or 5 more times.
Problem is he goes to 12-8 here and then has to go to the bad side. But this is indeed a little bit of positive feeling and good momentum. They can say, hey, sure, they beat us that game. We beat them earlier, but we're playing better now as we move into the crucial double final game to 7.
The key for Johnson and Stokos is to play as aggressively as they can. I think one thing, when Johnson misses serves, he's not going all out. He's not ripping the ball.
Right.
He should just go back there and say, screw it. I'm going to hit the ball as hard as I can. If it goes up near Marlowe and Sunderland, fine. If it goes into the court, that's even better. If it goes into the crowd, fine.
But don't serve it at 50% and
no, just
still
whack
miss
the
it.
thing.
Yeah.
Whack the crap out of it.
There, I concur.
Okay, let's see it.
Concur.
Stokey down 12-7. Okay, now Stokey's just all out, reaming it.
Well, he knows that's his only chance, wants to get it.
And Johnson is there again, and Karts can't believe it. A USC Trojan is stuffing the king of the beach. We're coming back. 28 seconds remain, 12-8.
Presents Full Contact Golf. Yes, this summer it's not just a sport, it's a free t-shirt. The Full Contact Golf t-shirt. Just look for specially marked packages of Miller Lite at your favorite store. Find this can and win instantly. There are over 500,000 t-shirts to be won.
Cool. Hey, cool shirt. Thanks.
The Full Contact Golf t-shirt coming into full contact with you. Only from Miller Lite.
Hey, great shirt.
Great beer. Can your beer do this?
Calling collect. You've got options. You can dial 0 like this guy.
Hi, Mommy. I rode on the plane all by myself.
Did I mention you'll be charged as much as you possibly can for this call? Or you can dial 1-800-COLLECT. Here's how it works. Dial 1-800-COLLECT. Yeah, I just saved you some cash. You're welcome. Love you. Called Mom Collect, huh? You know, you could have saved up to 44% by dialing 1-800-COLLECT.
Can you find it in your heart to forgive me?
Man, if Mike was here right now, he'd want to be like me, because I'm the man.
Yeah, you the man.
Don't do this in my house. He'd be serving me.
Hey, I play you for that Gatorade.
I'm down.
Gatorade, the one with the minerals and energy, and fluids are slamming the thirst inside of me. Gatorade, thirst quench, you gotta give me some.
Oh! Where's my Gatorade?
Nothing slams a deep down body thirst better than Gatorade. Absolutely nothing.
How about some ball?
Oh, I can play this game.
Oh, he can't play that game.
About 28.5 seconds for Johnson and Stokey to get it done. It's not much time. They're going over to the bad side. I would say if they're on the good side, they might have a chance to whip up some aces, but this would be a comeback of immense proportions if they could pull this off. Johnson's been blocking well. And it's over the top and down. Karch and Kent trying to run up the clock so we can get to the double final.
Stokey stayed out, practiced his jump serve the entire side change, hoping to get an ace there, close it to 12-9. Now, I think this game to 15 is over, and we'll be looking again, double final, same two teams.
No one!
There was a very interesting moment earlier today in the finals of winners bracket. There was timeout. Both teams were playing against each other. It was very tight action and very tense, and Karch was practicing his jump serve during the timeout, and he served one and it bounced and hit Stokos in the butt. And Stokos wasn't looking, and Stokey was really mad. Guess it had a little more bounce to it, but I wasn't sure if you could do that. Can you practice your jump serve during a timeout? I guess you can. Steffes to Johnson. And Stokey, what a fake by Stokey.
You can reach over the net and fake as long as you don't contact the ball. Okay. Rules used to be you couldn't reach over the net at any time, but with blocking over, Stokos getting up there, aggressive fake. Karch is on it, and then the double hit.
Just not enough time, 11 and a half seconds.
No.
And he's got to serve an ace or two right here to get him into position. And that's going
taking
to do
some time. Yeah, they're just going to set and pass the ball up in the air.
And Johnson trying to go. Nice shot by AJ. And still a chance. Yep, there's still a chance. They'll get to 10. Now he's got to whip the ace. He's got to whip a naked spader, a naked ace. Can't have anybody touch it. And then they put the last ball in play.
I tell you, Johnson and Stokos are capturing the momentum,
right,
and they're getting the crowd here. Crowd didn't like that Kirai and Steffes were just running out the clock.
He's got to have a winner here. Got to be a naked winner. Out. Ooh. And that would have done it. Still 1 second remaining. But a nice comeback by Stokos and Johnson. They did what Paul Sunderland said they had to do. And now Stokos one more play, and Stokey going to show that he is still ready. So now we go double final. Second time in 2 weeks. Stokos and Johnson, Kirai, Steffes for the title.
Is talking on the phone getting out of hand? Look out! You need phone relief. The ultimate in hands-free phone design. Watch. Simply attach the special double back fastener to any phone. Then attach the phone relief headset. It's that easy. Hands-free, pain-free. You'll wonder how you ever lived without it. It's perfect for remotes. Now talk hands-free anywhere, anytime. Office work is a pain for Mr. Phone on the Neck, but you won't miss a beat with hands-free freedom. A must for the entire office. Work goes quicker and easier. The padded headset removes this easily and is fully adjustable. Best of all, Phone Relief works with your favorite phone, an amazing breakthrough product you'll use every day. Now only $12.95. Call toll-free to order by credit card and make this your last Phone in the Neck call.
Call 1-800-592-1222. Call today. Our operators are giving tremendous discounts on additional units. That's 1-800-592-1222. Or send check and money order to the address on your screen. Sorry, no CODs. Credit card users call now. 1-800-592-1222.
Drive a new Ford pickup for only $253 a month for 24 months with no down payment. And that includes tax, title, and license. No down payment at just $253 a month for the well-equipped Texas Package F-150. It's a special offer only available at your Texas Ford dealer. All it takes is a refundable security deposit and your first payment to drive out the door. Then you only have 23 payments left on this 2-year lease. Hurry, this special offer ends May 31st.
Back on the AVP tour. Yeah, we are roasting in San Jose, California. Chris Marlowe, Paul Sunderland, and of course the big question, can anybody beat Karch, Kirai, and Ken Steffes in double elimination? Adam Johnson and Randy Stokos had their opportunity last week, couldn't get it done. They will have one more chance in our double final, and Stokos, a veteran. You know, you have to set the tone early in the AVP season. If they can't beat Karch and Kent when they win the winner's bracket, they're screwed.
They are indeed, and that's what we're going to play to the format for this quick game to 7 points. Win only by one side change every 2 points in this abbreviated format. 5 minutes on the clock. And if we're tied at the end of 5 minutes, we'll go to double OT, sudden death.
Adam Johnson will serve first. AJ looking for his first win ever playing the right side. First win ever was Stokos. Same situation we had last week. Here comes Karch, and Karch puts it away. Karch hits such severe angles that sometimes even when you're there, you can't get them.
Steffes and Kirai choosing to start on the good side.
Side, big difference here.
No one.
Johnson, nobody up. Karch pokes it. Back to Kent. Karch can't get there.
Karch was doing everything he could to try to track that down. Good play on the fake block. The ball set some 6-7 feet back off the net. Fake block there. Karch gets the pokey. Kent gets the second pokey, and Karch track and can't make the play.
First point could be coming up for Stokey. No! Steffes takes it back.
Nobody.
Stokos with his hands. Double contact again. The wind is blowing it. I didn't think that Stokos had the huevos to take that one with his hands. That ball blew about 5 feet. That was a tough chance.
That is a protected flag. We just looked at. Randy, look at him. He's moving under. He never got settled under the ball. And you've really got to have your feet set. Big play by Kirai and Steffes early.
Stokos, the only one with the guts to take that ball, as that ball slithered inside. No score, double final. Miller Lite Open here in San Jose. AJ trying to get it together. Has he had an ace yet, Paul?
In the final second.
Over.
Off Stokos.
Aces for Adam Johnson. None. As hard as everybody was serving, the only 2 aces so far have been one by Stokos, one by Steffes.
Kirai and Steffes have won 48 of the last 61 tournaments played. Johnson and Stokos have played 9 tournaments together in their history and have never won so far. If Stokos and Johnson could get a couple right here on the bad side, they would be golden. They go over to the good side and whack up some jump serves.
And if they could get a win, just like Stokos did with St. John Smith or AJ did with Ricky Ludes, you get on a roll and get an awful lot of confidence. It makes all the difference in the world.
Of course, a lot of people writing us and telling us, wow, we don't like to see Karch and Kent win every week. Of course, a lot of people write and say, hey, we love to see them win every week. It's good to have a super team in sport. A different...
Nobody!
Stokos, nobody there. Steffes! Oh, Kirai got it up. And Steffes plays it in. AJ with the whack-up. Great rally. There have been some tremendous athletic rallies in this final.
Kirai and Steffes want to maintain and put an exclamation point on their early season dominance, and Johnson and Stokos looking to notch number 1.
No score. Boy, that would have been close to being out. Near the back line. Steffes. And AJ is there. Much needed play. Coming Stokey backward poke out of bounds.
That was really the only choice he had. The ball was he could have given it the back flipper.
Thought the flipper was coming.
Well, I just think he was trying to be a little more conservative with it. This ball is dug near the net, and it just keeps blowing closer and closer and closer. I think if Randy felt that he was 2 or 3 feet off the net, he would have used the flipper.
No score. Steffes serving. A couple chances for points for Johnson and Stokos have gone a lot. Stokey cross court. So the big Stokey with a hit.
Passing the ball extremely well. People used to think, boy, he just can't pass the ball well enough because St. John Smith was passing it all those years. And Randy had some problems early, but settled through. AJ going to stay at the net and block.
That serve carried long by the win, and here comes Karch.
Good.
Nice shot, AJ off the set of Stokos. We'll take timeout. We're coming back.
Hair that is free-flowing, like the sea, living in harmony with light, dancing in its shadows. Fit, vibrant hair, nourished and cared for by the elements of our earth. This is Paul Mitchell hair.
Remember, buy the real Paul Mitchell products in salons only.
Ever since Southwest Airlines introduced Friends Fly Free, people have gotten friendlier.
Sugar Plum, your favorite pillow.
If you make reservations and buy your round-trip ticket at our regular low unrestricted fare, a friend gets to fly with you, free.
Hey, Dad, seen the head trimmer?
There's no advance purchase and tickets are fully refundable.
Here's that putter I borrowed last year. Oh, buddy.
Southwest Airlines Friends Fly Free. It's great for your pocketbook and your popularity.
Kevin Eschenfelder in the clubhouse. Glad to have you with us. NBA East Finals going on at Madison Square Garden in New York. Let's go to the highlights. Patrick Ewing working the ball around. Finds an open Charles Smith, and Charles Smith can drain the 18-footer. Things going good for the Knicks. But watch the ball movement by the Indiana Pacers. The no-look pass finding Dale Davis underneath for the jam. Highlights few and far between for Indiana, but this just might be one of them. John Starks takes it up maybe a little too nonchalant, I would say so. Misses the dunk, but that's about all the Knicks have missed in the first half. 53-37, the Knicks leading it. Reggie Miller, a big story, held to only 7 points in the first half. In Atlanta, the Astros going at it on the road tonight in the bottom of the 6th inning. They lead it by a score of 3-0 RBIs by Finley and Drabek. We'll have more throughout the night. Stay with us. This has been Kevin Eschenfelder in the clubhouse.
Welcome back. 3 minutes, 39 seconds to go in our double final. Chris Marlowe, Paul Sunderland. Lots of side out so far. Some good defensive plays, but no scoring. This is a chance for a point. Still close. No! Hartz blocks it back. Third opportunity for Johnson and Stoklos to get a point.
Just can't get lucky, can't get any luck, can't make the big play when you need it. And it's a big play because of the time, the significance. We've been 0-0, a minute and a half gone in this double final. Still no score, obviously. And Stoklos with a chance.
And nobody swing.
Beautiful shot. Johnson and Stoklos are playing superbly right now. As you said, Paul, you need a little luck to beat the Kings. You need to play well.
Randy Stoklos now with 17 kills, tied with Kent Steffes. Could Steffes be unseated for the Killer Loop Kill Award?
Of course, Boucher Lom giving up $500 a week for that baby.
Stoklos has received
1,000
5,
serves.
10, 15, 20, 25, 29 serves.
Over.
Steffes, and it's off Johnson, out of bounds. A diggable ball by AJ. Steffes gets the kill, and AJ going, God, you know, those got to come up. And I think you and I would agree. Got to make those digs. Cart serving. No score.
All right.
Karch has it. Right to Steffes. And he hits it out. Whoa.
Well, you could almost hear Kirai say, all right, Kent, they finally got what appeared to be a very easy point-scoring opportunity, and Steffes just gaffed the ball long. Perfect set.
No score. Double final, game to 7. 3 minutes and 11 seconds to go. The husband and wife play rears its ugly head on Ryan Steffes.
And Gary Stoklos loves it. Who's the best at this play in the world of Pro Beach Volleyball? There they are.
You know, a lot of people would say, look, why don't you just serve it down the middle every time on Karch and Kent?
Well, it's a little hard to do.
Okay.
I mean, that ball is precisely down the middle as it would be precisely down the sideline, on the sideline, or precisely cross court.
1-0. Stoklos and Johnson looking for the upset, looking to break through here in San Jose. Remember, 4 years ago, Kent Steffes and Dan Verbalovich came out of nowhere to stun Karai and Frohoff. Karch. Stokey with the dig. J. Karch on one. Look out. Great hustle. Boy, AJ, he is so fast.
Chugging.
He had a bloody toe last week, which would have prevented him from making this run.
Look at the number of steps. I'll tell you, that is striding out and Stoklos staying with him the whole way.
Do you take a sand time out here to rest up for a moment?
Yeah, why not?
If you're AJ?
Yeah, you don't want to give up a point here.
All right. Settling in, Karch waiting. AJ huffing and puffing just a bit. Going to serve AJ right away here. Nope, they go to Stoklos.
Very high pass up in the wind.
High set and straight down. The ball hit the sand. And a good shot.
Adam Johnson going back to serve.
So Adam Johnson will have it. AJ won his first tournament with Pat Powers back in 1991
at Santa Barbara.
Yeah. And then Powers got a little mad with AJ. They didn't continue to win, and Powers thought that, well, AJ was the cause of it. As it turns out, it was Powers that was the cause of it, because AJ's gone on to start. Pieper's been okay. As Steffes thumps it down the line. Boy, he's got good misdirection on that shot. It looks like he's coming across court. He just kind of nubs it down the line.
Kent Steffes' mechanics, and I've talked about this before, I think he really is a natural left-sider, just the way he approaches and erects himself to the ball, but really makes it easy for him to fake the cross court and then chop it back to the line.
2:43 to play, 1-0, Stokos and Johnson.
Tough serve.
First bad pass by Stokos. Great set, however, and Stokey puts it away. What a set by Johnson.
Both teams controlling the ball so well out here, and this is what's becoming a 20-mile-an-hour wind late in the day. Look at that perfect position. Karch has to stay at the net and block, and Stokos takes care of it. No jump serve.
Mini hurricane. I don't think you help yourself that much by jump serving from the bad side.
Well, you know, it was interesting to watch in between the first game of this double final and the second. Stokos was back at the service line practicing two things: short serve and skyball.
1-0 Stokos and Johnson. 2.5 minutes to play. Been a very well-played double final. And Stokey's into the net. So a change on every 2 points. They quick switch.
29 remaining.
And now Stokos and Johnson, a must 2-point side on the good side now. Karch and Kent, very steady. Stokos and Johnson have been steady.
Now's the time for AJ. We talked right at the beginning of this match who would have the advantage on the good side, and I thought Johnson and Stokos. Johnson because of his jump serving, Stokey because of his ability to set the ball. Let's see if they can get a very important 2 points now that they've gone to the good side in the double final.
Great shot. Wow, Stokey, that really blew on him, but he was able to fan it over to the right side.
Stokey and Johnson are hanging in there, but they got to close this out. They have gotten the ball by a few times on some deep sets, plays like that. And Kirai and Steffes will start to gobble those up.
So Kerry Stokos, a very interested observer, very nervous right now, as her hubby and AJ tied up 1-1 with Karch and Kent. And Kent's into the net. So pressure now being applied by Stokos and Johnson.
Tough jump serve. That gets the play started. Going hubby-wife area once again. The team split the good side, bad side points before. Kirai and Steffes need to get back into this. Just a deep serve, and Kirai and Steffes scrambling after that.
Johnson and Stokos leading 2-1. The Kings of the Beach take time out. We're coming back.
Come on out to the track where millions get paid. Go Greyhound Park, the place to play.
I like the feeling of the Horizon Clubhouse. The ambiance is great. The food's great. The people are great. The service is great. And I enjoy watching the Greyhounds run. To me, it's an adventure, and it's something the city of Houston has needed for many, many years.
I said, come out to the track. The place to play. Go Greyhound Park. Secret lovers. Who's gonna drive you home?
4 records or 2 cassette tapes are only $19.95.
2 compact discs, just $24.95.
Here's how to order.
To order, call 1-800-592-1222 or send $19.95 for records or cassette tapes or $24.95 for 2 compact discs plus $4.95 shipping and handling to the address on your screen.
Dominance on the course. A year ago, Bernhard Langer had one of his best weeks ever. Can the magic return? The Volvo PGA Championship. Coverage begins Sunday at 6 on HSE.
2:12 to play in our double final. Just moments ago, it was 2-1, and Stokos getting up high to stuff Steffes, making it 3-1.
And they got the 2 points they absolutely had to have on the good side where they have an advantage. Need to solidify that advantage, of course, as they go to the bad side now. Let's see what Kirai and Steffes do in terms of response.
Johnson with the serve. Pretty good one wide to Karch. Karch is off the net, and it's out of Johnson's reach. Kill for Karch Kirai.
Kirai 16 overall, Steffes with 19 now. Kirai and Steffes usually gets a lot more serves, but this week's Kirai getting his share.
Steffes looping it up. And another good set by Stoklos, and Johnson hit it out with the wind blowing, and it's very difficult to hit on the right side, so that guy getting some work.
I'll tell you, if you pass the ball backwards from the bad side, and that set from Randy Stoklos has got to travel a long way and have some altitude, it's going to get up in the wind and becomes very, very difficult to take a good swing. Adam Johnson waiting for, let's see, that is I travel a lot, a 727 stretch coming in on glide path.
AA going by. 3-2, Johnson and Stoklos. Nice shot. Good call by Johnson.
Absolutely. Johnson and Stoklos are right there. They need a couple of more big plays, and that's exactly what they're thinking about. Time winding down. We're now to 1 minute, 56 seconds.
And 4/10, to be exact.
Always leave you the important part.
Thank you. Try Kent Steffes here. And Steffes chops it into the corner. If you missed some of the results, in third, Brent Frohoff, Ricky Ludes. In fourth, Dave Swadek and Canyon Seaman. The young team together for only the second week. They split $7,000. The Brazilians in fifth, along with Jeff Rogers and Eric Boyles, who had a phenomenal tournament. Stokey digs it out. Steffes stuffs it back. Wow.
Got 3-3. Got the two they needed, and now, I'll tell you, after over 3 minutes of play, perfect set, but Steffes improving continually as a blocker, jumping into the angle and getting AJ.
3-3, Johnson and Stoklos back on the good side. Karch will serve, game to 7. Johnson and Stoklos trying to beat Kirai and Steffes for the first time this year. Oh, double contact on Stoklos.
How many throws the ball? Wow. How many is that? Is that four throws called on Randy Stoklos in this double final?
I would say 3, maybe 4. At least
well, there are three that I can absolutely remember.
And a sand timeout taken. 4-3, Kirai and Steffes. St. John Smith has 135 career wins. Stoklos behind him. Karch, Kirai, Ron Von Hagen. Steffes can move ahead of Von Hagen today. I talked to Von Hagen this week, and he told me something interestingly. Kent Steffes is 25 years old. He has 62 wins. Von Hagen had 1 win by the time he was 25. Most of them came from 25 to 37.
Well, that was another questionable set.
And that's going to do it for a point. Karch and Kent, a horrible set by Stoklos into the net.
I've never seen, I consider Randy Stoklos the best beach setter of all time, and he is having his problems today.
This is right into the net. No choice for Johnson. We're coming back 5-3, Kirai and Steffes.
You gotta use your head. But it's the footwork that puts the hurt on the opponents. It's premier soccer teams from around the globe gathering for the excitement of international competition. The best teams, the top players, the finest matches. The World Series of Soccer. The U.S. and Greece, Sunday night at 8 on HSE. Summer's here, and June on HSE is high. Major League Baseball heats up as the Houston Astros and Texas Rangers continue to scorch the base pad. Meet the world's true sports heroes at the Texas Special Olympics. The Continental Indoor Soccer League gets into the kick of things with the Houston Hotshots and Dallas Sidekicks. And stay in the winner's circle of horse racing with the Sam Houston Race Report and the Stretch Run. Things are heating up in June, and HSE is there.
What's new, Houston? New look, new division. New attitude. The whole new ballgame.
Chop City. Justice is being served in Atlanta, but the Stros know that rules were made to be broken.
It's out of here!
Houston takes on Atlanta Wednesday at 6:30, live on HSE.
Chris Marlowe, Paul Sunderland, Kerry Stoklos, Karai Steffes, Johnson, and Stoklos. Johnson and Stoklos led 3-1, but they have surrendered 4 unanswered points. They're going to the bad side. Things look bleak, but sometimes when things look bleakest, good stuff can happen.
Hey, they're 2 points down. There's plenty of time left on the clock. Randy Stoklos, boy, 2 very uncharacteristic setting errors. One a mishandled ball and one just a very bad set, costing his team both those points. And Stokey's over in the corner right now.
Practicing setting.
Yeah, thinking about his touch.
Wow.
That was automatic.
That's like John Daly going over and practicing driving. Like he needs to.
Mahmoud Abdul Rauf working on his 3 free throw stroke.
96%. 2 points away from another victory. Johnson and Stokos trying to hang on here. They need one, at least one over here. If they don't get one, it's over. So that was a good call. But they need 2. They need to get 5-5 and go on the good side. Johnson will serve.
Johnson serving.
Minute 30 to go if you're wondering about the clock. Steffes over and down the line. Steffes hitting that high shot really well. Let's update you one more time. The Kill Loop Kill Award, $500 going to the lethal man, Stokey.
Hey,
and
right now,
Steffes.
Stokey in the lead by 1. Kent Steffes with 20. Stokos with 21.
Little spinner.
Tough serve.
Oh, right over the net. Karch gobbles it up, looking for point number 6. No. Johnson. And Stokey puts it away. Big play by Stoklos. Wow, Karch kind of off speed that one right to Johnson.
Just maybe got a bad call or something, but hit that ball right to AJ, and Stoklos just takes care of the rest with a flipper to the open area.
And to AJ's credit, he dug it. Well, that is not that easy to take one right to you. Steffes, and it's off Johnson, out of bounds. 5-3 in a game to 7. A minute 8 left in our day in San Jose.
Time for Johnson and Stoklos to return the favor. I'm telling you, if Kirai bombs that ball, kills it to 6-3, they're on the good side. I think this match is over. They got a chance to save things here.
Stoklos, yes. Stokey with bizarre heat there. Wow.
Randy Stoklos has been very, very good offensively from the hitting position, but it is his setting that has cost his team a couple of points. Never see that.
Johnson serving, trailing by 2. And
serve. 4-5 with 59.6 seconds remaining.
Means we will change sides at least one more time. How big a point was this?
But I think it's critical to get to 5.
Oh, if they're 5-all and go to the good side, there's been a complete flop in momentum.
And AJ into the net.
That's been AJ's story, though. Great serve, and then he doesn't seem to be able to follow it up. He goes for too much or even takes a little off sometimes on the next one and misses it.
We're under a minute. Karai Steffes by 1.
Yes!
For Steffes!
Return, hubby and wife. How about that?
6-4.
Right down the pipe for Kent Steffes.
To take a 2-point lead, the team that is best at having the hubby and wife administered to them administers one to move within 1 point of the championship.
Here we go. First chance for Karch and Kent. Johnson and Stoklos taking their time. You take a timeout here? I guess not. And they do. 20-second timeout for AJ. Just trying to collect his thoughts. You got to serve Johnson here, don't you think? Maybe Stokey?
Yeah. No, I would serve AJ because this is the situation where Randy Stoklos has had trouble setting the ball. And I think that the wind is coming in off the corner of the court. And as AJ passes the ball into that wind, Randy's just had a difficult time settling underneath the ball.
For the championship. They go to Stokey. And Johnson bumps it right over to Karch, and he gets it back. Stokey flipper. Karch chasing. He's got it. Kent. Stokey is there on his knees. Got to put it away to keep it going. Not yet. Kent is there. Back the other way for the championship. Yes!
Puts it down.
Same play as in Phoenix to keep their hopes alive. Randy Stoklos rolls the ball over the top to Kent Steffes. And they're the champions again.
The Kings do it again. Another double final, another win. Now 9 out of 10. Sunday's on his way to the sand. Back in a minute.
Hair that is free-flowing, like the sea, living in harmony with light, dancing in its shadows. Fit, vibrant hair, nourished and cared for by the elements of our earth. This is Paul Mitchell hair.
Remember, buy the real Paul Mitchell product in salons only.
Sir, do you think there'll ever, do you think there'll ever be an airline that's on time, has great customer service, and still charges low fares?
Sure, when whales fly.
Southwest Airlines. It's just plain smart. Southwest Airlines has one of the best on-time records in the country.
Mr. Smith, you're early.
Just something to remember. Southwest Airlines. It's just plain smart.
Common courtesy. It's coming back. Take collect calls. Instead of 0, now you can dial 1-800-COLLECT. Save the people you call up 44%. Question. Who is the fossil that is still going to dial 0? Hey, dude. I could have saved you some cash on this call, but what do I care? We're getting the band back together. Hey, Slick, you could have spoken for a lot less by dialing 1-800-COLLECT.
Even to Seattle? Thanks, phone dude.
Miller Lite presents Full Contact Golf. Yes, this summer it's not just a sport, it's a free t-shirt. The Full Contact Golf t-shirt. Just look for specially marked packages of Miller Lite at your favorite store. Find this can and win instantly. There are over 500,000 t-shirts to be won.
Cool. Hey, cool shirt.
Thanks. The Full Contact Golf t-shirt coming into full contact with you. Only from Miller Lite.
Hey, great shirt. Great beer.
Can your beer do this?
Introducing Continental Business First from coast to coast. Now you can get all the comfort and service of international first class when flying nonstop across the U.S. Business First from Continental Airlines.
Well, another magnificent performance by Karch Kiraly and Kent Steffes. They win 12-10 and 7-4 in our double final. Our Miller Lite play of the day. It came in the championship double final. 5-4 was the score. Johnson and Stoklos had regained the momentum for a moment, but Kent Steffes coming right back, looking for the husband and wife area. Stoklos and Johnson could not handle it. It was suddenly 6-4, and victory was just 1 point away. So Karch and Kent win their 7th in a row, their 9th out of 10, and their 49th in the last 62. Let's go down to Sunderland.
All right, once again, we move back to California. The results are the same. Karch Kiraly, Kent Steffes, congratulations. A lot like the double final last week. In Phoenix, Randy Stoklos rolls the ball. It ends up finishing out. But your partner returns a hubby wife to really sort of set up the final point.
Yeah, finally, we got somebody else with one of those. But first of all, I want to congratulate Ken on number 63, becoming 4th on the all-time list, all by himself. Great playing, partner.
Passing the legendary Ron Von Hagen. Indeed, a great honor. Ron Von Hagen had 1 victory by the time he was 25 years of age. But here's a question for you.
Sure.
Again, let's talk about format here a little bit.
Yeah.
Who can beat you if you guys get 2 chances in double elimination?
I think they can beat us. I think we're putting together another good streak, to tell you the truth. There's a lot more tournaments left, and there's a lot more opportunities for other teams to win. This is, the 10th event of the year. And again, like I said, we've been playing great ball. We've been training real hard this year, and a little bit maybe even harder than last year. And so the results are going to show it.
What about the people who say, hey, we're a little tired of seeing Karch and Ken. It's 10 tournaments in, they've won 9 of them.
We disagree with those people. We're not very tired of it at all, which is nice. We've played really well, great volleyball for 3 years now, and we're going to keep trying to go quite a few more years.
All right, and speaking of that, we're a little bit over the first third of the season. How would you evaluate your play this year? I know you're very harsh in terms of being critical of your own performances.
Well, I think you might all laugh, but like you said, I am critical of my performance. I don't think I've been playing that well. technically lately. I'm probably going to have to get on the sand and work on a few things that I'm not doing that well at all. But
like what? What do you need to work on?
Well, I tell you, but then everyone would think about it.
See, everybody thinks this job is so easy to go. Now, Ken, what do you got to work on? Why are you beating up Whitmarsh now? He won't tell us anything. I'll tell you what, they won the money again this week. Congratulations, Ken Steffes. Indeed an honor. All by yourself in fourth, passing Ron Von Hagen. Karchi, you did it again. Congratulations. Chris, yours.
All right, Paul Sunderland, Karchin Kent do indeed win another one at the Miller Lite Open here in San Jose. The final Miller Lite Cup points, at least for this week, Karchin Kent to add to their total 90.5 points. Randy Stokos and Adam Johnson have moved into second place. A good performance for them. Dodd and Whitmarsh drop into third. Welcome back, everybody. Chris Marlowe along with Paul Sunderland. You're seeing history out there. You watch AVP on Prime. You're seeing one of the greatest teams in volleyball history, and they are just dominating right now.
Well, they're in great shape, and as Kent Steffes indicated, they're training physically even harder than they did last year, and now they're going to spend more time that the season's getting into the really big money tournaments and go on towards the USA Championships and whatnot later on in the summer. They're going to start getting out on the beach and refining their technical skills more. So they're going to be even playing better volleyball if you listen to Karch Kirai and Kent Steffes. And why not listen? They've won 9 out of 10, and we're really waiting for more than a couple of teams to be able to challenge them.
Only strategy might be send Karch Kirai to play AA baseball with Michael Jordan, and then you might have a chance. Our Kill-A-Loop Kill Award this week, well, was it Kent Steffes once again? Bausch & Lomb giving $500 to the most lethal weapon in our championship final. Stoklos and Steffes were... Whoa! We've got an upset. We have got an upset. The Kill-A-Loop Kill Award is going to Stoklos. Steffes has been beaten out. His hockey tickets will have to be moved back.
Steffes is going to be hot about that.
Let's tell you a couple more numbers. Karch and Kent now have won 51 together, and Kent Steffes getting his 63rd win. He moves ahead of Von Hagen. How significant is that?
Oh, anytime that you pass somebody like a Ron Von Hagen or a Ron Lang or a Chris Marlowe, for that matter.
Well, that was a guy like that. Yeah, go ahead.
But I mean, those are the legends of the sport. Those are things that any athlete who's dedicated themselves should be very, very proud of. Certainly, it was a different era, and there were not as many tournaments. You can put all that you want against it, but now Kent Steffes has reached a milestone, and I've said it before. He's going to put the all-time wins in terms of numbers away by the time he's all finished.
You have to feel good if you're Stoklos and Johnson. At least you beat Karch and Kent once. You beat him in the winner's bracket. You took him to a double final, so there is some hope there.
And if I may interrupt, I'm sorry. If it were single elimination that we've talked about, Karch and Kent would not have won. Stoklos and Johnson would have been the champions here. But as long as they stay with double elimination, Kirai and Steffes are the best team, and they're still getting 2 chances to go ahead and win.
A lot of scrambling right now on the AVP Tour. Dodd and Whitmarsh had a bad tournament. Hovland with Vandeweghe had a bad tournament. Brian Lewis is still out with a banged-up knee. Akatubby is still out. It's perfect for the Kings of the Beach to run right through.
Absolutely, and we have not had the Brazilians really step forward. They played well once early in the season when we were on the swing through Florida, but they've really not been a factor. They lost in the first round here, came all the way back and finished 5th, but we were expecting a lot more from them.
And another exciting team that we might see some more in the future, Canyon Seaman and Dave Swadek. Where's all the young blood? They were here this weekend.
Oh, they played superbly. Only their second tournament together as professionals. Canyon Seaman's going to do nothing but get better. He's still playing volleyball, or I should say going to school up at Stanford, a couple of miles from here. Wait till he gets about 6 weeks on the sand every day under his belt. He's going to be a factor every week.
All right, Sunday and I have about had it. We are out of gas. The final results, once again, Karch and Kent win for the 9th time out of 10. For Paul, I'm Chris. The beach is now officially closed. AVP Volleyball has been brought to you by Miller Lite. Great taste, less filling. Can your beer do this? By Paul Mitchell Salon Hair Care. Cruelty-free by the real Paul Mitchell in salons only. By 1-800-COLLECT, America's inexpensive way to call collect. Use it every time you make a long-distance call. By Kill-A-Loop Performance Sunglasses by Bausch & Lomb. Tested by athletes, not machines. By Southwest Airlines, it's just plain smart. By Gatorade Thirst Quencher for that deep down body thirst. Nothing works better than Gatorade. And by Nestea. Why get just a little bit wet? Plunge into Nestea.
If you love volleyball, come out and see us next week. The Miller Lite Open in San Francisco. I'm told we're playing on the Embarcadero. Come out and say hello to Paul and me. This event has been sanctioned and operated by the AVP, the Association of Volleyball Professionals, recognized worldwide as a leader in pro beach volleyball. So long, everybody.
Anchors have distinguished themselves with unprecedented coverage. So go get them, Rockets. We know you can do it. And we want you to know how proud we are that our team has been a part of bringing it all home to Houston.
The latest on the Simpson murder mystery on hard copy. This is the NBC Sports Prudential Update. Now, Hannah Storm.
And we're back at the Summit in Houston, wishing you all a very happy Father's Day. Coming up in just a few moments, we've got beach volleyball, the AVP Miller Lite Milwaukee Open. Then following a break for news, it's Game 6 of the NBA Finals. The Knicks and the Rockets with New York up 3-2.
We have a 3-2 lead, and we know the worst thing that can happen to us is taking it to the 7th game, but it would be a good opportunity, I think, for us on Sunday night to finish it up, if we can.
All right, Pete. Peter Vesey joins us now, our Showtime insider. Pete, what do you make of Pat's comment?
Certainly wouldn't be a bad opportunity, would it? If the Knicks remain true to their personality, they will lose Game 6. They're not in that desperation mode, and they must have a game, they win it. And this is a game they don't have to have.
Hey, a lot of people feel that the Houston Rockets respond in a must-win situation. You go back to that Phoenix series when they were down 0-2 going into Phoenix and how they responded there. What sort of adjustments do you look for tonight?
I think that the Knicks should play Anthony Bonner, Herb Williams, and Greg Anthony a lot more early so that they have that energy for the fourth quarter. And if I were the Rockets, I would play off Patrick Ewing, play him straight up. You've got to play John Starks and Derek Harper honest. They've been beating them with too many outside jump shots.
Something that the Rockets did during that third quarter run, and it was very effective in Game 5. All right, thanks, Pete. And time now to send you to Milwaukee for the Miller Lite Open. We'll see you a bit later on.
Randy Stoklos, one of the great warriors in the history of pro beach volleyball. For 11 years, he and his partner St. John Smith ruled the sand as the kings of the beach. But since their breakup, Stoklos has won only twice, and he's still searching for the winning formula. This year, he's teamed with former U.S. Open champion Adam Johnson. They lost their first match this weekend, but now they have battled their way back into contention. If anyone compares to Stoklos in stature and power, it is Ricky Ludes. But after 6 years on tour, he is looking for the accomplishments and the respect he thinks he deserves. Big, strong, physical. There is nothing Ludes can't do with a volleyball. Still, he has not won on tour in 22 months, a streak he hopes to end today. Wisconsin. It's a cool, breezy day, but that hasn't stopped a huge crowd from assembling. Yes, they are excited and ready Miller Lite Open. Hi again, everybody. Happy Father's Day to all you daddies out there. Chris Marlowe along with Paul Sunderland. What a tournament. It has been hot yesterday, cool and breezy today. Karch and Kent didn't show up. An unpredictable tournament.
Well, when Kirai and Steffes are not here, the most dominant team on the beach, anything can happen. They're usually the sure thing, and this tournament has turned into the wild thing. When they're not here, as David Stern would say, hey, parity's good for the NBA, it's good for the AVP. We've had some phenomenal competition.
Brent Frohoff and Ricky Ludes have been the best team so far today. We will see them in our championship final. But a little while ago, 1.5 hours, so to speak, the competition got revved up in our Contenders Bracket Final, one of the most dramatic Contenders Bracket Finals that Paul and I have ever seen. We're going to take you back right now and pick up. This is the way we call that match to advance into the final.
Chris Marlowe, Paul Sunderland, Friedrichsen, and Hansen have the lead here in Milwaukee. You're looking at Leif Hansen. He won a tournament back in the late 80s. And since then, had the shoulder problem, had burnout, come back to the tour, trying to regain and refine his intensity. He's got it today. As he and his partner are putting it to the #1 seeded team, Stoklos. And Hansen can't handle it.
They're really working on Randy Stoklos because of the ankle sprain last week. His mobility not nearly as good. Look at the ground that he's got to cover. Friedrichsen and Hansen know that, and Adam Johnson not nearly as good a setter as his partner Randy Stoklos, thought to be the very best on the beach. Really attacking the weaknesses of Johnson and Stoklos this week.
It's a 9-3 lead for Freddie and Leif. Friedrichsen, and he has been unstoppable. He looks like Karch Kirai on the left side today.
You like Freddie, don't you? Scott Friedrichsen with 9 kills. Leif Hansen also with 9. Scott Friedrichsen receiving 18 serves so far. Leif Hansen only 3. But Hansen with those digs, he is right up there with the kill total as well.
Service error for Friedrichsen. Now Johnson and Stoklos have an opportunity as Johnson clears the runway for his takeoff on his jumper. Down by 6. Hansen, and he lobs it out of bounds.
Point, Johnson, Stoklos. He's out of bounds.
Stoklos complaining about the set.
Putting a seed in Greg Krause's head. Scott Friedrichsen has what we call the deep dish. The ball is passed by his partner, comes into his hands very softly and slowly, almost comes to a stop, and then is released. A lot of people think that's an unfair advantage.
Right there. Hey, Friedrichsen got it. How do you explain a deep dish? Take a look, Paul.
Well, there's the single scoop and the double scoop, and Scott Friedrichsen is somewhere in between. Look at how the ball goes well into his hands. I think his setting technique is near perfect. As a matter of fact, there are guys on the tour. Scott Akatubby won. Brent Frohoff, who we will see, goes full Fudge Sunday with his deep scoop.
Scores 9-4. Johnson cuts it inside. Nice shot by Adam Johnson. He's walking very gingerly, Paul. He may have hurt his hamstring. I saw him grab just for a second to the back left of his hamstring.
Well, they have played so much today. And again, after they lost first thing in the morning yesterday, they had to play 4 more matches just to advance to the second day of competition. And they have played 4 more matches again today.
Side out. Score remains 9-4. Just moments ago, Johnson, watch him very closely.
Boy, lands kind of stiff-legged and awkwardly, and there you see it right there. Maybe feeling a twinge of a cramp or a strained hamstring. Remember, again, so hot yesterday, really dehydrating, and cramps always a problem for the players.
They're going to work on Johnson. And Hansen has a chance for a point. Double contact. So Randy Stoklos planting the seed, and Scott Friedrichsen saying, wait a second, that wasn't that bad.
He planted it with Greg Krause and with Scott Friedrichsen. When one of the top players says to a referee, see, that one didn't look that much different, but as far as release and contact with the hands, but it came out with a lot of spin. Adam Johnson stretching now. I think he's cramping right now. He's starting to feel the first hints of cramps.
Remember last year at the Old Spice King of the Beach, Adam Johnson forced to retire because of cramps and heat exhaustion, dehydration. We'll keep an eye on Friedrichsen. So Leif Hansen has the ball. Keeping our eye on Adam Johnson and his physical conditioning. 1:41 to go in the game. Hansen and Friedrichsen in a commanding position. On the good side, a big lead. Clock winding down. Johnson may be injured. Good. And Johnson's in trouble, Paul. We've seen this before. He's not jumping. He's not hitting.
We've also just gotten word from the AVP staff that Adam Johnson, during the break between this match and his last, received an IV treatment to combat dehydration and cramps.
For now, Hansen and Friedrichsen, timeout taken by Johnson and Stoklos. So a huge upset brewing appropriately in Milwaukee. As Adam Johnson and Randy Stoklos hope to have a much easier road to the final, but they were upset in the first round by Daniel Cardenas and Eric Wirtz, and it's been a tough struggle since then.
#1 seed, they got a bye in the first round, and sometimes that's a curse, although Randy Stoklos should be very used to being the #1 seed, having been in that position for so many years with St. John Smith. But you come to the tournament several hours later, again you have the bye in the first round, and they got smoked by Cardenas and Wirtz, and there you see Adam Johnson trying to stretch it out once again and find a way to get through this match. But I talked to Adam Johnson after that loss. He said, we weren't ready to play. They smoked us, and they've been paying the price ever since.
Leif Hansen with the serve. What a win this would be for Friedrichsen and Hansen. Oh, off the top, Johnson hits hard. Friedrichsen has never won a tournament in his career, at least an official AVP tournament. Let's check Freddie internationally. He has won 1 international tournament. And Stoklos going to challenge the umpire regarding the clock.
Well, the clock in Pro Beach Volleyball and the AVP Tour only runs when the ball is in play. It stops as soon as the ball hits the sand. It starts once again when the ball is served. And after Adam Johnson's spike hit the ground, there you see the clock, 1:29.9 seconds remaining. Randy Stoklos was saying that the clock continued to run, and there's been a readjustment to 1:36.
Here's Adam Johnson, trailing by 6.
Right there, angle,
You have to wonder, even if Stoklos and Johnson could come back, could he do anything in the final?
Johnson normally relies so heavily on his jump serve, and look at this. Looks like the serving contest that you hold at the local Parks and Recreation Department. No, I didn't win a t-shirt.
Johnson, Friedrichsen was there. Stoklos, Hansen is there. For a side change, at 11, no! And it's out of bounds. So an opportunity missed.
Leif Hansen and Scott Friedrichsen have to maintain their composure. They know Adam Johnson is cramping because they've been in that situation before, because they spend so much time in the contenders bracket themselves, having to play extra games. They have to take it one contact at a time and not try to gulp off this match in 2 big chunks.
There's Hansen, and Johnson is there, scampering. He needs a point bad. And he gets it. Johnson and Stoklos, an absolute must point. 1:09 to go in this one. 10-5, Freddie and Hansen.
Hey, gourmet cooking.
Welcome.
Put the wrestling back on. Gourmet cooking. Let's watch both.
Noodle.
Miller presents Gourmet Wrestling. They're cooking now, Bob. Here's the flip, the dip, and the whip.
Brought to you by Miller Lite. If you can combine great taste and less filling, you can combine anything.
Stick a fork in him. He's done.
What a pin. What a beer.
Great taste, less filling. Hey, hang around locker rooms like these guys, you're bound to run into athlete's foot, and it could get tough. See, you get that itching and cracking stuff, and look, boom, even burning. Now that's a really tough case, and that's when you want a medicine that acts tough. Boom, tough-actin Tinactin. You see, Tinactin cures even tough cases of athlete's foot fungus. It's clinically proven. No wonder it's the antifungal most recommended by pharmacists. Hey, you got a tough case of athlete's foot? Get this. Boom, tough-actin Tinactin.
It still bugs me that I waited to try Old Spice High Endurance just because I thought all deodorants worked the same. Dumb. This proves it's the best. Better than the leading stick. It evaporates less quickly. It also lasts longer. Protects better. You can't ignore that. Or this guarantee. Try it. If you don't think it's the best, call 1-800-PROVE-IT, and they'll buy you a stick of yours. You gotta figure anyone that serious about deodorant deserves a serious shot. Come on, take the high endurance challenge from Old Spice. I did.
This is NBC's Sports World, and today it's brought to you by Miller Lite. Great taste, less filling. Can your beer do this? By Tenactin. If you want a medicine that acts tough, get Tough Actin Tenactin. And by Nestea. Why just get a little bit wet? Plunge into Nestea.
Back at the Miller Lite Open in Milwaukee. Randy Stokos and Adam Johnson are in big trouble. They have 1:07 and 5/10 to find a way to score 5 points. They've been down all the way. They got behind 4-0 to the unknown team of Scott Friedrichsen and Leif Hansen. Hansen and Friedrichsen have played flawlessly so far. 10-5 is our score. There's Scott Friedrichsen, 34 years old, one of the smallest blockers on tour at just 6'3". Stokos, and he's off Freddie's hands.
Key factor right now in this match. Randy Stokos and Adam Johnson now on the good side. If they can suck it up a little bit, bang some jump serves, the wind and side situation clearly to their advantage right here and now. If they're going to get back in this match, they've got to do it in the next 4 or 5 serves because time is winding down.
There are questions about Adam Johnson's leg. Injured a couple of minutes ago. Stokos blocked it.
1 serve, 1 point. They're within 4. In spite of the cramp, Adam Johnson going for the tough jump serve down the line. Hansen passed it pretty well. Tentative looking shot, and Randy Stokos was still the big left paw down the line.
Johnson again trailing by 4. Johnson with the dig. Now the big question, can he put it away? Yes, 2 for 2.
Johnson. Full timeout taken.
Full timeout taken by Friedrichsen and Hansen. 46 and 6/10 seconds to go. Stokos and Johnson trying to make up ground fast. And Adam Johnson injured right leg or left leg. He's got some problems, but he's trying to gut it out when we come back.
What's the next thing, Dion? Soccer, anyone? Must be a fan. Powerade. It's not the old thing. It's the next thing. And that's a good thing. Should have worn my helmet. Powerade. The next thing.
Want to play some volleyball? Then get ready for Spike It Up, presented by Old Spice, the official volleyball tournament of the AVP on NBC. Men and women ages 11 and up on all levels of playing ability can compete. There's 2-on-2, 3-on-3, or 4-on-4 men's, women's, and mixed team volleyball competitions. Come on and spike it up. For more information on cities, tour dates, and entry information, call 1-900-40-SPIKE. It's 80 cents per minute with a 3-minute maximum call length. Under 18 requires parental permission. That's 1-900-40-SPIKE.
Of all your auto care choices, only one lets you earn up to 10% toward a new GM vehicle. Your GM dealer. Because only your GM dealer is a member of the GM MasterCard's new Accelerated Earnings Network, which helps you get a new car or truck.
No matter how tough you think you are, one opponent can bring you to tears. Sunscreen in your eyes. Fortunately, there's Coppertone Sport. Ultra sweat-proof. Won't run in your eyes to sting you. Protects all day. Coppertone Sport. For those who don't take the sun lying down.
Coming to NBC, Baseball Night in America.
Adam Johnson and Randy Stokos trail by 3. They have 46 and 6/10 seconds to make it up. They've scored 2 in a row. Chris Marlowe, Paul Sunderland at Milwaukee. Friedrichsen and Hansen may be feeling the pressure right now. Another point.
3 serves, 3 points, all from the good side when they absolutely had to have it, and going after Leif Hansen. Talked about him losing his fire for the game, losing his intensity. better fire up long enough to make one good pass and a side out down to 41.8 seconds. Hansen and Friedrichsen taking a sand timeout.
Friedrichsen and Hansen led 8-2. They led 10-4, but Stokey and Johnson working their way back. They're working on Leif Hansen. They're serving Leif Hansen. And Johnson, who is getting twinges in his left leg after he came down a bit awkwardly on a spike, is trying to finish with a flourish with his jump serve.
Again, Adam Johnson had an IV treatment, saline solution to combat cramps and dehydration. Perfectly within the rules of Pro Beach Volleyball, and took advantage of the availability.
It's 10-8. Hansen.
Leif Hansen and Scott Friedrichsen have played the tournament of their lives together, trying to get into the finals, and right now they're giving it away.
Randy Stoklos has taken over the net. Another 20-second timeout for Friedrichsen and Hansen. They may be out of gas, as Paul Sunderland suggested.
Well, emotionally anyway, and certainly the confidence tank is on dead empty.
Looking at 10. Adam Johnson serving.
You can see Scott Friedrichsen, excuse me, Chris, all he said was one side out, which means they have to successfully put the ball away. And if I'm Scott Friedrichsen, I said Leif Hansen farther off the net. He's setting him too close to Randy Stoklos, who's just taken over right now.
10-9. Johnson and Stoklos trail by 1. Trying to tie it up right here.
Over and
down. Johnson cannot chase. At least not very effectively, so the side out or possession back to Hansen. 32 and 6/10 seconds to go. 10-9. Hansen and Friedrichsen by 1.
And
he hit it out.
Unbelievable.
The comeback halted by a ball out of bounds. Not much time remaining for Stoklos and Johnson.
Some stars only need one name. Eddie. You haven't said a word to me except to ask for more Cheetos. They're coming, Eddie.
Go ahead and throw it. He'll run and get it for you.
Catch Eddie on Frasier, NBC Thursdays.
Oh, this athlete's foot. The itching, the burning.
And the odor.
Stop the itch and odor with Odor Eater's Foot Spray. Effective as Tinactin and Lotrimin spray, yet costs a lot less.
No more athlete's foot.
Odor Eater's Athlete's Foot Spray.
Does your gray beard or mustache make you look too old? Now, for that hard-to-color hair, there's Just for Men Color Gel. Brush in, and in 5 minutes, rinse.
Now, that's a lot better.
Just for Men Color Gel.
Oh, I never thought I'd enjoy mowing my lawn.
Snapper Highback. It's become a legend for its bagging ability. Clippings, leaves, even pine straw.
I'm not just pleased. I'm thrilled.
Highback's extra thick steel deck is turned in to overlap a special airlift blade. The result? Vacuum that will leave your lawn impeccably clean. And Highback does a great job of mulching with a Ninja mulching kit.
I really didn't know how good my lawn could look.
When the Rockets played their way to the championship series, you watched the games on Channel 2. And Channel 2 had after-the-game specials that really were special. Coverage you couldn't find anywhere else. And when Channel 2 and our friends had a pep rally at TSU, you came by the thousands to cheer the team. For that, we thank you, Houston. Stay with us for the games and the kind of coverage the Rockets and their fans deserve. The kind of coverage you'll find only on Channel 2 News. Go get 'em, Rockets.
Hi, I'm Mario. I'll catch all the Rocket action on Channel 2.
Light open at Milwaukee contenders bracket final. A 2-point lead for Hansen and Friedrichsen. Trying to hold on to the team. Stoklos. Hansen is there. And it's off Freddie out of bounds. Stokos and Johnson were down 10-5 at one point, scored 4 in a row, but then gave one up to trail 11-9.
Leif Hansen goes to dig number 13 right here, reading the cut shot, and then Scott Friedrichsen a little bit unlucky. If the ball hits into the net anywhere but right on the bottom of the tape, he's there to make the set and literally have a chance to wrap this up.
Now, strategy important. 18.5 seconds to go. Stokos and Johnson need to score quickly. Oh, right to Johnson. Chance to pull it in one. Not yet. Clock running. 9 seconds to go. Hansen puts it away.
That'll do it. This is done. Leif Hansen and Scott Friedrichsen holding off Stokos and Johnson. 6 seconds left. All Scott Friedrichsen and Leif Hansen have to do literally is serve the ball in the court, and there just won't be enough time for Stokos and Johnson to score twice.
Exactly right. Got to get the ball in with a 2-point lead. They do. Stokos got to put it away quick, and he does. Termination with 1 second. And as Paul suggested, ace would get a point, but that would do it. They would still be 1 point shy.
He's got to serve the ace in less than a second. And the ball, the clock stops when the ball hits the ground again. So if Scott Friedrichsen or Leif Hansen just get a hand on this ball, they've won.
11-10, 11-9. Now we'll see if there's time remaining on the clock. Let's see. They will go check and see if there are any tenths on the clock.
What?
Let's see. There might be tenths on the clock.
But listen. No, wait a second.
Stokos says, let's keep playing.
Now, if you hit the button, though, you can't stop.
The ace was scored. It's 11-10. The question, are there tenths remaining on the clock? And the referee is going to look.
They're going to consult the timekeeper right now. If that clock was not completely to zero, it's deemed that there were hundreds and tenths left on the clock, and Stokey and AJ will have another swing. The scoreboard has been changed to 11-10. That was their only possibility to stay alive.
Let's listen.
There takes more. Didn't start right on time. Wait for a second.
Now go in his call. Go in. Yeah. Okay, he's saying that. Hey,
Let's take a look as the clock was going down. Once it leaves its hand, should be going.
So he served the ball and it went over him.
Right there.
John looked up and you saw.
Yeah, it was 1/10 of a second when the ball went down. Okay. So
there is time left on the clock. Until that last zero appears, there are still hundreds and tenths left on the clock.
But what my question is, if she's hitting the button right when it hits at 1/10, what if it's already gone to the other side?
What do you mean?
Okay, boom, she hits it right at 1/10. What's that mean? Then it doesn't stop right then.
It should. I don't know if it does or not, but it should.
That's okay.
But I'm saying if it hit the ground and there was still a tenth, it doesn't matter if it touched the ground.
One more time.
Put that back on.
Explain it.
Well, the AVP clock only goes down to tenths. The clock is not out until the final zero appears. There's a blank space there when the ball hits the ground. This is the right call. There were hundreds, tenths left on the clock.
So now, trailing by 1, Stokos and Johnson will have one more chance to tie it up. They have to score on this play.
He said he saw.
Johnson got the ace at 11-9. Friedrichsen can't believe it.
Well, if you're in his shoes, you argue forever. But all you got to do is side out one time.
Now, Johnson will serve. He has to get it in or it's over.
Johnson and Stokos have scored on 5 of their last 7 serves.
The winner goes on to play in our championship final.
The score to 10-11. Johnson and
Stokos are down by 1. If they can tie it up, we'll go to sudden death. Next point wins. Friedrichsen for the win. Oh no, it's right to Johnson. Look at the sudden death.
One of the most unbelievable and unlikely comebacks. Great plays ending on controversy, but decided by the crank from the left side. AJ was playing cross court against Scott Friedrichsen, as was Leif Hansen in return, but he is not there.
Let's set it up for you very, very quickly. One more look at Johnson. It's next point wins. First team to score. The teams will switch sides every 30 seconds. And
that's
Johnson
the only
and
effect that the clock has. The clock is only up there for side changes. If these teams side out for 20 minutes, that's how long sudden death will last.
Friedrichsen and Hansen, we're ahead 4-0, 10-4. 10-8 with virtually 18 seconds to go, and now Johnson and Stokos can win it.
Historically, sudden death has been very quick.
Hansen. Johnson is there for the win. Yes! One of the most unbelievable comebacks in the history of Pro Beach Volleyball. Hansen and Friedrichsen seemingly had it. But then a referee decision to put 1/10 of a second back on the clock. Stokos and Johnson, time to get to sudden death and pull it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's what we got going. You can't get back to your seat by 3:30.
Well, you have to admit, on Father's Day, that was one mother of an upset. Stokos and Johnson down 8-2, 10-4. They pull it out in the last 5 seconds to win by 12-11. And remember the 7 seconds that Stokos got put back onto the clock at 10-4. Right after the match, Paul Sunderland caught up with Randy Stokos.
With the winners, Adam Johnson and Randy Stokos, one of the most unlikely, controversial, hysterical finishes. You know you got to get the clean ace when you're back there staring at 1 second.
Yeah, we didn't have too much time on the clock, like you said, 1 second, and everybody said, well, you can hit the ball 3,000 miles an hour, so I just went back there and hit it, and I think they just kind of let it go, figuring that the time was going to run out, it might be out, but luckily it went in, and we had a second left on there, a 10th or 100th or whatever.
It was just enough. Down 10-5, Randy. Your partner's hurting a little bit. You can tell that. I mean, if you expended now too much energy, you just got yourself into the finals. It seems like you've already played one.
Well, we've played 6 matches today, and it's been a long, long day. We started at 8 o'clock this morning, and here we are in the afternoon. You know, it was just a fantastic finish, and I think Adam, you know, serving that ace was all what we could ask for, and, you know, we're going into the finals and see what happens, you know. We're both tired, we're both fatigued, but we're going to give it a go.
All right, now, Adam, about fatigue. You had an IV treatment before that last match. It looked like you were cramping a little bit. The obvious question, how do you feel now, and can you continue?
Well, I feel pretty good right now. You know, once you get it all worked out and everything. I was feeling a little ill during the week, and I've had a tough travel schedule this week. I'm pretty tired, but, you know, like Randy said, we're going to get out there and give it 100% and see how it works and how it goes.
Congratulations to you both. A dramatic, fantastic comeback. Stokos and Johnson into the finals.
All right, Adam Johnson getting juiced up for the finals. Can he and Stokos do it against Brent Brohoff and Ricky Ludi? Stay with us. More volleyball after this.
If you demand more from an aftershave than that same old alcohol burn, you need more than the same old aftershave. Sensitive from Old Spice. It's alcohol-free because alcohol burns. That's why they took it out and put these cooling Sensate scent. For real refreshment to go with that great scent. It's proof aftershave doesn't have to hurt to work. So use Sensitive, or you might get burned. Take the heat out of aftershave. Demand proof. Try alcohol-free Sensitive from Old Spice.
Sir, do you think there'll ever be an airline that's on time, has great customer service, and still charges low fares?
Sure, when whales fly.
Southwest Airlines. It's just plain smart. Southwest Airlines has one of the best on-time records in the country.
Mr. Smith, you're early.
Just something to remember. Southwest Airlines. It's just plain smart.
clean taste.
Watch it get a little bit wet. Punch into next tea. Come on, punch into the lead. Punch it.
Try. This is the NBC Sports Prudential Update. Now, Hannah Storm.
We'll be sending you back to Milwaukee in just a few moments, but first a rundown of the baseball news this afternoon. The San Francisco Giants, in desperate need of some offense, have signed Darryl Strawberry 6 weeks after he completed drug treatment and 4 weeks after Strawberry was waived by the Los Angeles Dodgers. Strawberry, the team says, will be ready to play right around the All-Star break. Meanwhile, at the ballparks today, 5 games are final. We begin in the National League. The Atlanta Braves gave up 16 runs yesterday to the Reds, 12 more today. John Smoltz giving up 4 homers. Also, Pittsburgh beat St. Louis by a final of 3-2. In the American League, Detroit beat Toronto 3-1. The Tigers' Mickey Tettleton hit a home run, and Detroit has now homered in 25 straight games. That ties a Major League record set 53 years ago by the Yankees. The red-hot Cleveland Indians beat the Red Sox 6-5. That makes 18 straight home wins for the Tribe. And finally, Minnesota beat Baltimore 10-4. Now our NBA insider, Peter Vesey, joins us to talk about Game 6 of the Knicks and Rockets tonight with the New York Peter able to wrap it up here on Houston's home court. What do the Rockets have to do to make sure that doesn't happen?
The Rockets have to get more balanced offense in the first 3 quarters. Then they've got to get a steady diet of Akeem Olajuwon down the stretch. The reason you want to go to Akeem is not only can he make his shots, but if he's fouled, he knows how to make his free throws.
Thanks, Peter. Tip-off is about 2 hours away. Time now to return to Milwaukee for the Miller Lite Open.
This has been the Prudential Halftime Report. Brought to you by this has been the...
Wisconsin. If you've never been to the lake, then you haven't been anywhere. The crowd is revved up. We come to you live from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, getting ready for the championship final, the $100,000 Miller Lite Open. Put your hands together. Our championship final, Adam Johnson, Randy Stoklos, Brent Frohoff, Ricky Ludes, 1 game to 15. Hey everybody, Chris Marlowe and Paul Sunderland, but without Karch Karai and Ken Steffes. 2 teams with an opportunity to win a tournament today. 4 players who desperately want to win.
Well, 2 teams that have really struggled and have faced Karch Karai and Ken Steffes far too many times, but they're not here. First up, Brent Frohoff and Ricky Ludes. Frohoff used to play with Karch Karai. Now a chance to stick it back at him just a little bit. Playing much better defense, surprisingly so, has had his share of victories. And for Ricky Ludes, big and strong, and the key, he is fresh. He can block a lot of balls here. The opposition coming through a dramatic route. They played so many matches here today. Randy Stoklos turned it on at the end of that contenders bracket final, blocked a few balls. The biggest question mark, of course, with his partner, Adam Johnson. IV treatment once, possibly twice. He was cramping in the match before this. He will get served nearly every ball. I certainly would to start the match.
This will be 1 game to 15 points. It's modified double elimination. It's double elim all the way, but 1 game to 15 in the final. So Johnson figures to get a lot of serves here. He'll be wearing red trunks, black hat, Stoklos in red at the net. And Ludes hits it straight off Johnson out of bounds. So Johnson and Stoklos trying to win their 2nd tournament together this year. Frohoff and Ludes have not won a tournament in 22 months. Since the Cuervo at the end of 1992 as that serve goes out.
Have to remember that Brent Frohoff and his partner won the winner's bracket. They have had a long rest. Something that they have had not had the pleasure of or the practice with in quite so many months. They've got to come out and start very well.
Stoklos has it. He's off the net. Chance for a point. Got it. Sometimes when you come through the losers bracket or the contenders bracket, you're ready. You're revved up. You may be tired, but at least you're hot.
Fatigued, yes, but you know what the court is like. You know the intensity. Ludes and his partner, Brent Frohoff, have had a rest. And Adam Johnson and Randy Stoklos exactly the opposite. They have been playing nonstop since 8 a.m. this morning.
1-0 is our score, and Brent Frohoff puts it away. Brent Frohoff, one of the best players on tour at 31 years old. He's been a pro for 10 years now. He's won over $720,000. Now Ricky Ludes will serve, wearing black. Johnson, good call, and Johnson sips one down the line. So AJ Weary, playing on tender legs. He will serve. He's 29 years old. He's won 11 tournaments in his career. Let's take a look at his float serve. Taking it easy right now. Johnson is there. And Stoklos goes on tour, and maybe Ricky Ludes and Brent Frohoff are not warmed up.
Well, that's their own fault. A huge opportunity to win a championship. They have played great volleyball for the last month, whether Kirai or Steffes have been on tour. They lost to them barely in the finals last week. And AJ scoring some points from the bad side. He won't use his jump serve from there. And Johnson and Stoklos off to a very good start, have scored a couple from the bad side, meaning the wind is at your back. It's more difficult to serve and also more difficult to receive balls coming to you.
Brent Frohoff serving.
Johnson and Stoklos leading 2-0. Our championship final here at the Miller Lite Open in Milwaukee. Frohoff, who describes his serving style, is bombs away.
And cut.
Ludes is on. Johnson. Ricky Ludes up high.
The first tired-looking play from Adam Johnson here on the cover. That's not the key. Watch what happens after he hits the ball. That ball is blocked just up in the air. He makes no movement whatsoever to recover his own blocked shot.
And over.
Ball hit out of bounds. It's 2-2.
Ludes, 2-2.
Brent Frohoff, his last win, Santa Cruz, back in 1992. A big payday. A $100,000 split. He won that with Ricky Ludes.
You have to think that all the pressure is on Frohoff and Ludes. With all the work that Johnson and Stoklos have done in that remarkable comeback in our last match, this is just gravy right now. They feel fortunate just to be here, and they get another fortunate look at Ricky Ludes as he hits the ball long.
Randy Stoklos and Adam Johnson have the lead in the first break, 3-2.
Of all the places you can go to take care of your car or truck, only one lets you earn up to 10% of your parts and service costs towards a new GM vehicle. Your GM dealer. Because only your GM dealer is a member of the GM Card's new Accelerated Earnings Network. A select group of businesses that can double your GM MasterCard earnings with no earnings cap. Which helps you get a new car or truck. The GM Card, today's financial vehicle.
Wherever you are this summer could be a very cool place with Miller's 10 grand a day giveaway. We've got a lot to unload. That's $10,000 a day every day. Look for numbers inside specially marked cases of Miller beer. Match and win daily in USA Today and Sports Illustrated. A lot of cash, a lot of winners. Can your beer do this?
The secret to a strong finish is endurance. High endurance from Old Spice. All day long it proves it's the longest lasting, hardest working, the best deodorant stick. It evaporates less quickly. It also lasts longer, protects better. Now that's endurance. For the longest lasting, hardest working, the best deodorant stick, demand proof. Get high endurance from Old Spice. You won't go far without it.
They come from all corners of the globe
sharing one common vision, seeking one universal goal. For a summer fortnight, witness the brilliance of the world's great champions in tennis's ultimate test of excellence. Wimbledon. Coverage begins next Saturday on NBC.
Chris Morrow, Paul Sunderland, Johnson, and Stoklos by one. Ricky Luty's trying to win his first tournament in a year and a half. He said he would have liked to win more on the beach circuit, but most of his career spent indoors. He told me this morning, the first time I played with Karch-Kiraly, I thought we were going to win a pile of tournaments together. Didn't work out that way. He's won 6 in his career. And Frohoff hits it out. Stoklos and Johnson lead 4-2. And it's inexplicable happenings that seem to plague Luty's wherever he goes. Chances to win gone by the board.
Had good fortune with the opposition. Part of the opposition right now, Adam Johnson, won here in Milwaukee. It seemed like he and that partnership were going to do extremely well. And then misfortune, he's playing professionally in France. He breaks his wrist. And that partnership is dissolved because Ricky Luty's, when he returns from Europe, is physically unable to continue with Johnson.
4-2 is our score. Johnson and Stoklos by 2. Stoklos, Frohoff has it. Chance for a point. And he puts it away.
Imperative that Brent Frohoff and his partner smooth things out, and Brent Frohoff has been playing superior defense for the last month. Here the dig and transition score in the corner.
And interestingly, Frohoff and Luty's are serving Stoklos. A double contact.
That's a bad call, Chris. There's nothing wrong with that set. Jim Leonard calls things. He's the number 1 referee. He called double contact on that. Look at Adam Johnson. Takes the ball in perfectly. It comes out with the slightest little bit of rotation.
Had a little Sunderland spin on it.
Hey, it was perfect then, right?
Here's Stoklos.
And it forces Adam Johnson to put his hands back in the holster and bump set. I really don't like it when it's called that tight. Setting's one of the most important skills in the game, indoors or on the beach, and they're kind of legislating it away.
Adam Johnson will serve. He has not won at least in a bit of a time. A couple of weeks ago with Stoklos, but before that, over a year. Here's Luty's. Johnson can't get it. Certainly Johnson does not have the mobility he had earlier.
Well, they've been out here playing for close to 8 hours. Crack of dawn, they've got to get up, get themselves ready, stretched out, try to get some carbohydrates in them, and then play game after game after game after game. When you are in the loser's bracket, they just call it grinding. We're going to go grind on Sunday and see how well we can do, and they've done very well all the way back to the championship.
31-year-old Brent Frohoff serving. He's got a great one when it's on. Nobody in. Stoklos creams it. Stoklos and Johnson got by Cairns and Mitchell this morning. That started them on their way. Pretty good set here, Paul.
Excellent set, to the contrary of what I thought would happen and what was the obvious with the cramping of Adam Johnson. Randy Stoklos has received 6 serves. Adam Johnson only 1 early on in this match.
Stoklos with the block, and it's down. So Stoklos still fresh.
Remember the key block in the contenders bracket final against Leif Hansen to get them back in the match. And again, Randy Stoklos skying and reaching into the cross court against the right side spiker.
Points coming very quickly now. Luty's. Johnson with the dig, but it's going out of bounds. Frohoff and Luty's are known as a very good point-scoring team.
Yeah, but the problem is in volleyball, you can only serve when you score, so you have to be excellent at siding out, pass, set, hit, before you even get to the position of the ability to score points. Have to take control of your own side of the net offensively.
And they'll float serve long. Johnson and Stoklos beat Bill Bouillon and Dan Verbalovich early 15-13, then got by Jansen Powers 15-8. Beat Martin and Young 15-6, outlasted the Brazilians 15-10, got by Tanner and Welch 15-12, and then squeaked by Scott Friedrichsen and Hansen.
And that was today.
Good news for Johnson and Stoklos. Johnson with enough energy to jump serve.
That's a very good sign. He's going to float serve from the bad side. On the good side now, with the wind into his face and probably blowing now, not too bad, maybe 8-10 miles an hour, 10 at the most. but jump serving, heavy top spin, really an advantage when you're serving into that wind from the good side.
Serving Stokos. I don't understand this.
No.
And maybe they'll dig Stokos. Maybe he'll hit a couple out of bounds. But Johnson is the weaker of the two right now.
You remember 3 weeks ago in San Francisco when Randy Stokos and Adam Johnson were victorious over Wes Welch and Troy Tanner. Stokos was in the zone. He was just unbelievable. Nobody could stop him. AJ talking to Stokos before the serve where he wants Randy Stokos to position his block.
Perfect set, and Ludes kills it. What a tremendous career Ludes has had. A two-time NCAA Player of the Year at UCLA, gold medal in '88. Success on the beach as Ludes whispers the instructions to Frohoff. Nice set. And Johnson hits it off his former partner. They won 3 tournaments together back in '91, and you might remember it, the first live volleyball tournament ever televised right here on NBC. Johnson and his partner Ricky Ludes got the victory in the rain and drizzle of old Milwaukee. 5-4. And Johnson is into the net.
You know, but he looks okay to me. Cramped a little bit, looked to be in his left hamstring in the prior match, had some treatment, took in some fluids. Tried to hydrate as best he possibly could during the short break, and so far looks okay to me. But Frohoff and Ludes aren't doing anything to make him exert himself. They're serving Stokos until now.
Johnson, he's up, and Ludes stuffs him. We've got one going in Milwaukee. 6:28 to go in the game. 5-5 tie at the break.
Why go to the beach? Just to get beached. Into the pure, clean taste.
Why just get a little bit wet? Punch in to nasty. Punch in totally. Punch in.
Of all the places you can go to take care of your car or truck, only one lets you earn up to 10% of your parts and service costs towards a new GM vehicle. Your GM dealer. Because only your GM dealer is a member of the GM Card's new Accelerated Earnings Network. A select group of businesses that can double your GM MasterCard earnings with no earnings cap. Which helps you get a new car or truck. The GM Card, today's financial vehicle.
Now see how it all began.
Will you follow me?
I'll do anything.
One of the most dynamic television movies ever.
You're mine. And you. And you.
Tim Daly's great as David Koresh.
They'll try to kill us. Do it!
From the award-winning In the Line of Duty series, Ambush in Waco, NBC Monday.
Marvin Hall shaken in Milwaukee. The world's only dancing referee.
He lives in Northridge, the epicenter of the recent California earthquake, and some people feel that he just may well have kicked it off.
Back live here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Chris Marlowe, Paul Sunderland, championship final. Brent Frohoff, his partner Ricky Ludes, up against the #1 seeded team this week, Adam Johnson and Randy Stokos. Kartskarai Kent Steffes not here this week.
And over.
Frohoff is there. Chance for a point.
Better defense from Frohoff has been one of the keys to their success the last couple of weeks. A second at the Cuervo Gold Crown $100,000 to the first prize winner. They were second to Kirai and Steffes, but beat them once earlier on in the tournament. Fro much more active on the defensive end.
6-5 is our score. Johnson right to Frohoff, right where he likes it. And another point. Points coming very, very quickly on both sides.
Yeah, one off Stokey and then one off AJ from the right side. Both blockers doing a good job. Ricky Luty's established recently with a block against AJ.
Johnson and Stoklos try to slow down the pace. They take a sand timeout. Brent Frohoff, who has won 14 times in his career. He won 9 with Karch Kiraly, and you have to wonder how would his career, you said it a number of times, changed had he continued to play with Karch Kiraly.
Well, they had a lot of success together, and Frohoff was thrust into the limelight, as anyone would be, as the partner of Karch Kiraly. And he played well, but not well enough for Karch. And Karch went to a younger, bigger, and stronger man in Kent Steffes, and obviously they've been great since.
7-5 is our score. Stoklos, and Stoklos puts it away. In case you did not hear the news, Karch Kiraly bruised his kidney last week, so he is sitting out this week in San Clemente, California. His partner, Kent Steffes, chose not to play. Here's Stoklos. Into the net.
You know, we've talked so much about the fatigue of Adam Johnson, but let's remember Randy Stoklos as well for just a moment. They don't share the blocking responsibilities. Randy Stoklos at 6'5", the much taller of the two. He blocks on every play when they're attempting to score. He's been working very hard today as well.
Johnson, his best hit of the final. Looking a bit weary, but snapping that one down. Receptions, surprisingly, Johnson, 7 less than Stoklos.
You know, and if I'm confident, Frohoff and Luty's, if I'm a confident team, I know that we can side out. I serve Adam Johnson. I would have served him 8 out of 10 balls at the beginning of this match. They've done just the opposite.
Up on Frohoff. Stops again!
Just like in San Francisco, Stoklos doing everything. Adam Johnson gutting it out, hanging in, blocked one ball, luckily covered, and then Frohoff, no place to go. You see how early he gave away the angle, dropped his shoulder, dropped his arm, and Stoklos, you have to watch your hitter as a blocker opposing him all over the angle.
7-6 now. Frohoff and Luty have the lead by 1. Now Frohoff will get his opportunity to serve. Frohoff, Indian descent. He is 1/16th Cherokee Indian on his grandmother's side. His team is up by 1. Almost footballed it. He'll go to Stoklos. And cut. Stoklos didn't listen. He went down the line, and Luty's taps it down. 8-6.
Great teamwork that time. Luty's doing exactly what the blocker is supposed to. If you can't stuff it, get your hands on it, slow it down. And then the defender, Brent Frohoff, bump setting right on top of the net, and no block in response from Randy Stoklos.
Luty's! It's a block-a-thon in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Frohoff and Luty's here in our championship final stuffed their way to a 3-point lead.
Are you still drinking the old thing? Try the next thing, Powerade. With 33% more carbos than Gatorade and a taste you can really slam. Powerade, the next thing.
Want to play some volleyball? Then get ready for Spike It Up, presented by Old Spice, the official volleyball tournament of the AVP on NBC. Men and women ages 11 and up on all levels of playing ability can compete. There's 2-on-2, 3-on-3, or 4-on-4 men's, women's, and mixed team volleyball competitions. Come on and spike it up. For more information on cities, tour dates, and entry information, call 1-900-40-SPIKE. It's 80 cents per minute with a 3-minute maximum call length. Under 18 requires parental permission. That's 1-900-40-SPIKE.
Hey, you get a tough case of athlete's foot, the itching, the cracking, the burning. You want a medicine that acts tough. Boom! Tough-actin Tenactin. Clinically proven Tenactin cures even tough cases of athlete's foot fungus. Get tough-actin Tenactin.
Of all your auto care choices, only one lets you earn up to 10% toward a new GM vehicle. Your GM dealer. Because only your GM dealer is a member of the GM MasterCard's new Accelerated Earnings Network, which helps you get a new car or truck.
Next month, baseball's back on NBC, starting with the Midsummer Classic, the All-Star Game. Ken Griffey Jr., Barry Bonds, Frank Thomas, Mike Piazza, Joe Carter, David Justice, Cal Ripken Jr., Len Dykstra, and more. The All-Star Game, July 12th on NBC.
The $750,000 Miller Lite Cup, points awarded for finishes per teams.
And there you see the points on down, and these are the current leaders. The Kings of the Beach not here this week. Significant lead over Stoklos and Johnson. And there's the rest of the top 7. Ricky Luty's there among that group. And $750,000 paid out at the end of the season. $100,000 to the #1 player on tour as a bonus.
Chris Marlowe and Paul Sunderland, live volleyball from the Miller Lite Open here in Milwaukee. Brent Frohoff and his teammate, Ricky Luty's, leading 9-6. Luty's has been blocking very well. Frohoff playing good defense. Stoklos and Johnson trying to hang in. As that ball is dropped right on the line by AJ. AJ weary from long games and long matches. And a little twinge in our contenders bracket final. A thriller, 12-11 over Scott Friedrichsen and Leif Hansen. Now Stoklos will serve. And Stoklos going to float serve.
Line. Good.
And off. Stoklos out of bounds.
Well, we've been talking so much about Adam Johnson's fatigue, forgetting a little bit about the amount of work Randy Stoklos has had to do over the last 48 hours. Maybe an example of it there. And Frohoff and Luty's have adjusted their strategy. They're going to Adam Johnson now, and I think that's the right way to go.
Down the line, Johnson tips it over. Of course, Johnson knows Luty's very well, and vice versa. And AJ will clear the runway.
What a team to reckon with, Adam Johnson and Ricky Luty's, until in the foreground in the black cap, Ricky Luty's broke his wrist in France, and that was the end of that partnership.
Johnson serving, trailing by 3.
And over.
Pretty nice set, and Frohoff babooms it.
Ricky Luty's an All-American setter at UCLA at the setting position, and also was a backup setter at the '88 Olympic Games behind all-world player Jeff Stork. Can set the ball indeed.
Frohoff is coming at you. His team leads by 3. Very close to a double contact. Frohoff has it up, looking for a point, and he puts it away.
And Brent Frohoff giving Jim Leonard a little gas. That set rolled off the hands of Randy Stoklos. A set called earlier on spin against Adam Johnson that I did not think was a throw. That one looked better and was much closer. You take the ball, you have to contact it simultaneously and have it come out of your hand simultaneously.
That's trouble. Johnson, what a shot. A lob into the corner, nicely done.
I think, though, especially against AJ, when the ball is set well back and the hitter from the right side has to focus only on the ball, you've got to think he's cuffing line. And if he does cut cross court, you have much more time to get to that ball.
Stoklos back to the jumper.
Line.
And Johnson has it up. Oh, it's right on the net, but out of bounds. Stoklos may have hurt his toe. He's holding his big right toe, and it's a big one at that.
Size 14s for Stokey.
He may have caught it underneath the sand. Sometimes you can get it jammed under there. Luty's did that one year in 1992 and broke his toe.
And that was the last tournament he won. Here's Stokey. I think he gets his toe caught underneath him, and as he pushes, you can just sublex or nearly dislocate your toe as it bends underneath the weight of your attempt to play the ball.
Take it off.
So they'll work on the troglodyte toe of Stoklos. Put a little help there. One more look.
Wonder if he ripped his toenail off here. That could well be the problem. Stoklos is blocking. AJ with a good dig. Now he's got to go and chase. You know, his foot is buried in there. Almost anything could have happened. It comes away right away, almost looking as if, my goodness, my big toenail is nearly ripped off.
They have called a 5-minute medical timeout. We are coming back. Our championship final, it's 10-6. We'll be back after these words from your local station. Stay with us.
Tuesday night, the Today Show goes back to the future for a primetime special. Celebrate the opening of their window on the world with the stars of Frasier, The Nanny, and NYPD Blue. Join Brian, Katie, and the Today Show family. You'll see what a difference today makes. Tuesday at 8.
Oh, I never thought I'd enjoy mowing my lawn.
Snapper Highback. It's become a legend for its bagging ability. Clippings, leaves, even pine straw.
I'm not just pleased. I'm thrilled.
Highback's extra thick steel deck is turned in to overlap a special airlift blade. The result? Vacuum that will leave your lawn impeccably clean. And Highback does a great job of mulching with a Ninja mulching kit.
I really didn't know how good my lawn could look.
The Rockets were nicked and bruised Friday night, but now we play in Houston. And as the finals return to the Summit, we'd like to take just a moment to say how proud we are of them and of our own team here at KPRC Channel 2. Clearly, Craig Roberts and his team of sportscasters, reporters, and even news anchors have distinguished themselves with unprecedented coverage. So go get them, Rockets. We know you can do it. And we want you to know how proud we are that our team has been a part of bringing it all home to Houston. It's a full court press towards the championship on Channel 2's Sports Sunday.
We have been told it was the big toenail, and we mean big, of Randy Stoklos that was ripped back. They taped it up. Johnson and Stoklos trying to hang on as Ludies was into the net.
Hey, the ripped toenail is very painful, but much better, obviously, than really subluxing your big toe underneath the weight of your foot as you're going by. And Randy Stoklos, a big man at 6'5", 220 pounds. Ricky Ludies broke his toe at the Cuervo tournament, his last victory with Brent Frohoff in 1992, and took him a while to come back from that. Very similar injury.
Frohoff and Ludies lead by 4. Johnson trying to rev up. That was a great serve by Johnson, but Frohoff and Ludies handled it perfectly.
Well, they can both set the ball with such precision, and Brent Frohoff worked to get his body in front of the ball, passed it back into the meat of the court, and Ricky Ludies showing a lot of confidence with his big paws, dishing the ball right on target.
Fro and Ludies up by 4. See how Stoklos goes off the kick. Taps it, Frohoff is there. Looking for a point. Gets it.
Stoklos did not jump particularly well on that last attempt. You go after the wounded opposition, no doubt about it.
So Stoklos' toe hurts, Johnson's legs hurt, and Frohoff and Ludies are playing very well. They lead by 5. Pretty shot by Johnson. Keep in mind, it's just 1 game to 15, and Stoklos and Johnson are on the good side with the wind in their face. So theoretically, as they did in the contenders bracket final, they could catch up very quickly.
Well, but given their physical condition, they need to get back to the 11-9 side change, in my opinion. Anything less than that, and I think they're out of this championship. Change sides multiples of 5.
Pounds it.
To accommodate for wind and sun and otherwise the outdoor conditions. Again, change at 5. Brent Frohoff now with 9 kills, a team effort. Ricky Ludies also with 9. Ricky Ludies complimenting with 3 big stuff blocks.
Angle. Johnson again, cutting inside. Brent Frohoff having a very, very good game. They lead by 5 in kills. Successful spikes. Here's Johnson.
Brent Frohoff also with 7 digs. That really a key to this lead right now.
Here. Stoklos, it's out of bounds. Ricky Ludies told me earlier today that he has a lot of confidence in his partner, Brent Frohoff. Said Frohoff's very, very underrated in all the skills that he possesses.
Well, he's very good at all of them. Is he one of the best at any of them? Maybe he's among the very best in terms of setting, but he's outstanding in terms of his all-around volleyball skills, which is what you absolutely must have on the beach. He can jump serve with the best of them, probably. He can block fairly well. That may be a weakness, but passing, setting, and also spiking from the left side. Very, very well-rounded.
11-6, Stokos and Johnson trail. And now the ball back to Ricky Ludes and Brent Frohoff. Ludes says he's a much better player now than he was with Karch Karai. He's changed his footwork. He sees the court better. He's got a lot more shots, and he's a great blocker. Couldn't reach that one, however. Stokos gets it.
I don't think Ricky Ludes' beach game was really mature enough when he first went out and played with Karch Karai. It just wasn't up to snuff. It wasn't where it is today. And Karch recognized that and went elsewhere for a partner.
Down by 5, Johnson would like to get an ace right here. And Frohoff, oh, he is so confident. He is just oozing right now. We're going on 2. He's 10 feet off, and he hits it straight down.
Passing rocket, jump serve, setting everything. They got off to a bit of a rocky start after the long rest, but have really smoothed out, and as you say, playing with a great deal of confidence.
Frohoff, a conservative float serve. Good shot. Johnson put that right on the back line, or heading there, we should say. Score remains 11-6.
And you say, why doesn't Brent Frohoff play that with 2 hands? If he extends himself so far out of the court to play it with 2 hands, he never has the time to get back to the net and attack. You've got to be good with both right and left and do it individually.
And Frohoff gently touches it. Ricky Ludes told me an interesting thing. He said the key to blocking is staying in front of the hitter and then reading the hitter and having my midget run down balls behind. And he's talking about Frohoff. He meant that in a complimentary way. That you can't get frustrated if they're looping the ball over you and your partner can't get it.
Well, particularly when strategically you put on a play. For example, the 2 play, blocking cross court, you want your digger, of course, chasing down the line. And if Frohoff doesn't make the move to get the loop shot over the top of the block, then as a blocker, you get very, very frustrated.
11 straight side outs. Johnson serving, trailing by 5. Boy, Ludes is passing great.
Go one.
Oh, and he waffles one into the Old Spice sign. Sometimes you will see that. And it cost Ludes a point. 11-7 now.
Boy, he topped his driver on that one and just fluffed it out in the fairway.
Stokos hawking it up at the net. Johnson's hitting his jump serve very hard now. Maybe a second win. And it's tippy-tap off the net. Give Ludes the kill. Ludes and Frohoff talking it over, up by 4. Johnson has been pretty successful hitting the cut shot. That's what he's been working on. Frohoff has it.
No.
Hits it. Stokey digs in. Ding! And it's down.
Did you see where Randy Stoklos hit that trouble shot from? Nearly mid-court. Stoklos retreating, makes the first good play here. Johnson just tried to get him something he can hit. Stoklos is at least a dozen feet off the net and slices off the great angle. You've got to have superior trouble shots in this game.
Sand timeout taken by Ludes and Frohoff. 3:07 to go in this one, 11-7. Karch Karai and Ken Steffes once again are not here this week, but last year they really did it, and this year they have continued.
Well, 11 of 13. They've appeared in every final but one. You can see the records at the bottom of your screen. 34 wins in the last 2 years, and that doesn't include this season. And we, of course hope that Coach Kirai is able to be back next week, but certainly will be back from Manhattan.
Karch resting his bruised kidney in San Clemente, California. As Stoklos still with hope. Trailing by 4, plenty of time.
You good.
Cover.
Johnson with a dig. Big play here. AJ, yes!
Johnson.
Frohoff and Ludy's begging for a touch on the block. They're saying to Jeff Jordan, the linesman, did Randy Stoklos on the block touch the ball? Here's the end of the play, which Adam Johnson just about beheads Ricky Ludy's, but they're saying, hey, wait a minute, that's 4 contacts. And remember, in Pro Beach Volleyball, the touch on the block counts as a contact. The Rocket again for the score. Got him out of bounds, and then immediately, there you see Ricky Ludy's right hand going up, claiming, hey, there were 4 contacts. Randy Stoklos touched the ball on the block at the beginning of the play.
Of course, if you follow Pro Beach Volleyball, you know in the olden days, that was an honor call by players before they had full-time referees. Not anymore. Frohoff off Stoklos, out of bounds. Always been a great rivalry between Brent Frohoff and Randy Stoklos. 2 different areas, 2 different beaches, 2 different philosophies.
And usually 2 different directions when the match is over, north and south. Oftentimes not choosing to shake hands. We'll see what happens.
Ludy's out of bounds. Of course, that rivalry really was born when Stoklos was playing with St. John Smith, and they were from the Santa Monica part of California, State Beach area. And Brent Frohoff playing with Scott Akatebe down at Marine Street, the other big beach.
And also, it escalated when Frohoff went with Kirai, and they were playing in the finals virtually every week. Lots of good trash talk. You think it's in the...
Johnson aces! AJ, someone in the crowd said get an ace, and he did. 2:43 to play. Johnson and Stoklos are coming on.
Ice brewed the right way for more of what you want in a beer.
What? Nothing.
Brewed light for less of what you don't.
All right. Who's the...
Here, Miller Lite Ice. It's new.
Who are you? Light Ice guy. Huh. You all right, boy? What, he can't see?
Some get it, some don't.
Hey, are you from heaven?
No, Milwaukee.
Wow.
If you get it, get it. If you demand more from an aftershave than that same old alcohol burn, you need more than the same old aftershave. Sensitive from Old Spice. It's alcohol-free because alcohol burns. That's why they took it out and put these cooling Sensate scent. For real refreshment to go with that great scent. It's proof aftershave doesn't have to hurt to work. So use Sensitive, or you might get burned. Take the heat out of aftershave. Demand proof. Try alcohol-free Sensitive from Old Spice.
No matter how much you exercise in the sun, how much you practice your game, no matter how tough you think you are, there's one opponent that can bring you to tears. Sunscreen in your eyes. Fortunately, there's Coppertone Sport. Tough enough to be called ultra sweatproof. Won't run in your eyes to sting you. Protects you all day. With Coppertone Sport, you won't lose to your toughest opponent, the sun. Coppertone Sport, for those who don't take the sun lying down.
Back in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Adam Johnson and Randy Stoklos trailing by 2. Just moments ago, Johnson able to whip up a jump serve. And now the Nestea inside look. Adam Johnson on jump serving. Check it out as AJ shows you how to jump serve.
Remember that jump serve from last year?
Back live, AJ showing you how to do it correctly. They just pumped the ace moments ago to pull to within 2. He'll float serve. He's on the bad side now, so he's forced to float serve. Frohoff and Ludies get the advantage, going to the good side. Wind in their face. Ludies.
Come on, come on, come on!
And it's off Stokos for a side out.
Ricky Ludies getting most of the action offensively for his team. He's been served 17 times. Brent Frohoff only 9. Stokos feeling that he matches up better against Ricky on the right side.
Frohoff with the serve, right to Stokos. And Stokos jams it through. We should tell you that no team has ever, I should say, has recently lost in the first round of an open tournament and come back to win. The last team to do that, Karch St. John Smith, 1981, when USA national team head coach Doug Beal would not let them out of volleyball practice on the national team for their first match. They lost their first match and then came to the beach and then played and ended up winning that tournament.
Ricky came down to the beach after a 4-hour practice under Dr. Doug, which is no fun, as we both know, and then played for 2 more days and eventually won.
11-9.
Stokey bombing now from the left side. Frohoff and Ludies have to think for a second, talk things over, because they were scoring off of Adam Johnson. Remember, he has had some problems with cramping, and look at Stokos right over the top there of the block of Brent Frohoff.
Stokos at the net. Johnson, who has 6 different kinds of jump serves, different directionals. Right to Ricky. You know, Frohoff doing a very good job of keeping Ludies off the net.
You have to do that. Sometimes everybody thinks the perfect set is 6, 8, 10 inches off. Not at this level. You set the ball that close, these big blockers like Randy Stokos and Ricky Ludies will reach over and put you absolutely in the closet. Got to keep the ball a couple of feet off the net.
Frohoff, who won the 1990 Manhattan Open with Karch with the serve.
And turnover.
And that ball right on the line. Of course, Randy Stokos has won his share of major tournaments, 117 titles. He won 3 world championships. And he may go after Frohoff here. Nope, back to Ludies. 11-9 is our score. And Johnson, a Zulu dig, the one-arm spear job. Frohoff got it. Pretty good dig there, huh?
Yeah, not bad. How many spears does one man have? Look at that. Adam Johnson on the run, the ball going in the other direction, and just spears it perfectly, keeping it in play.
Under 2 minutes. It's a 2-point lead.
And fight.
Johnson, Ludies is there. He shoots it over, shoots it out.
A play like that has been the story of Ricky Ludies' career. So close and yet tantalizingly out of bounds to go to 12-9 and a step closer to a championship.
Every once in a while, Ricky mixes in those kinds of plays to make it interesting. Stokos lining up. You're not allowed to screen in Pro Beach. That's why Stokey squats. Johnson back over. Frohoff. And Frohoff hits it right on the line.
Big Adam Johnson and Randy Stokos sense the level of confidence that Brent Frohoff was playing with and have avoided him since the early stages of this match.
So Frohoff is lining up. He's got a very casual way of holding the ball, isn't he? Maybe the highest toss on tour when he's a little weary. He really throws it up. Trouble. And it's poked out. So an errant pass causes Johnson to sock it out of bounds. Ludies and Frohoff closing in now. Lead 12-9.
See, Adam Johnson has to decide right now, is it going into the tape? Do I have room to bump set it? He decides none of those. I've got to pokey the ball high enough and over the block. Just misses the sideline.
Good. And angle, cut.
And out of the reach. Stokos had the right call, but Johnson choosing to go line.
Well, and Frohoff was on the move there, heard the call, and put a little hitch in his giddy-up as he was headed towards the line when he heard Stokos call the other direction, nearly making the dig down the line.
Stokos to serve, trailing by 3. And he's out of bounds. So tough getting the serves in now. Maybe Stokos lost it a moment in the sun. Now Ricky Ludes, who has won some big titles in his career. I told you 6 in total, but won the 1991 U.S. Championship, and of course that Cuervo in Santa Cruz back in '92.
And over.
Ludes with the stuff. The man they call the Creature was up high.
And Ludes called that play. He talked to his partner Brent Frohoff and said, hey, I got the ball. I'm going to Stokey here. I'm going to Stokey take his angle.
What do you think he wants this? 13-9. Ludes
blocked him once again, taking the cross court. I don't know if Adam Johnson is not calling the open area, but Stokey just pattern going cross court.
We'll take timeout. Ludes and Frohoff have championship point when we come back.
One more, Freud.
If you demand more from an aftershave than that same old alcohol burn, you need more than the same old aftershave. Sensitive from Old Spice. It's alcohol-free because alcohol burns. That's why they took it out and put these cooling Sensate scent. For real refreshment to go with that great scent. It's proof aftershave doesn't have to hurt to work. So use Sensitive, or you might get burned. Take the heat out of aftershave. Demand proof. Try alcohol-free Sensitive from Old Spice.
It has been a long time coming for Ricky Ludes and his partner Brent Frohoff. 22 long months without a title. This could be it. Championship point against Stokos and Johnson. This could be it. Frohoff. Yes! Frohoff and Ludes win it. We'll be back to talk with the champs after this.
Why go to the beach? Just to get beached.
Into the pure, clean taste.
Why just get a little bit wet? Punch in to nasty. Punch in totally. Punch in.
No matter how much you exercise in the sun, how much you practice your game, no matter how tough you think you are, there's one opponent that can bring you to tears. Sunscreen in your eyes. Fortunately, there's Coppertone Sport. Tough enough to be called ultra sweatproof. Won't run in your eyes to sting you. Protects you all day. With Coppertone Sport, you won't lose to your toughest opponent, the sun. Coppertone Sport, for those who don't take the sun lying down. Wherever you are this summer could be a very cool place with Miller's 10 grand a day giveaway. We've got a lot to unload. That's $10,000 a day every day. Look for numbers inside specially marked cases of Miller beer. Match and win daily in USA Today and Sports Illustrated. A lot of cash, a lot of winners. Can your beer do this?
Frohoff and Ludes, they win it by 6. The Old Spice winning moment. It was Ricky Ludes at the net, spicing up the action. Stokos coming at you. And Ludes just too big, too strong. It was the day of Frohoff and Ludes. They were the best team. The Old Spice winning moment. We're coming back to Milwaukee after this.